Chapter 79. Immediately Xiao Han activated his saber intent and cut off all distracting thoughts in his mind. He focused and nurtured the medicinal power of the 7 days death-wishing pill in his body. Soon he forgot about everything else. When Xiao Han opened his eyes again, it was already night time. In the sky, gems were embedded all over the place. Those were all unknown stars. They were magnificent and otherworldly. At this moment, Xiao Han was riding the flying sword tiger and flying 10,000 meters in the sky. Therefore, he felt that the stars were within reach, as if he could reach them with just a stretch of his hand. It was very magical. Gulp! The awkward sound coming from his stomach completely shattered this poetic and picturesque atmosphere. Xiao Han smiled and took out a roasted rabbit from his storage ring. He shouted at Fang Ling, who was standing on the tiger's head. "Senior brother Fang, do you want to eat something?" This time Fang Ling was grateful. He turned around and walked over to sit opposite Xiao Han. His body emitted divine light and treasure light, and he had the temperament of an immortal. Xiao Han took out another roasted rabbit from his storage ring and passed it to Fang Ling. Fang Ling took the roasted rabbit and his body lit up with a 5-pointed star shape. Then 2 bottles of fine wine appeared in his hands. He threw 1 bottle to Xiao Han. "Drink some wine." Xiao Han caught the wine bottle and looked at Fang Ling in a daze. Fang Ling explained, "After reaching the true Qi realm, there is no need to use external objects to store items. The true acupoints in your body can store endless items. Xiao Han, in fact, every true acupoint is a huge space." "How magical." Xiao Han sighed in admiration again. The two drank and ate the roasted rabbit. "Xiao Han, since we are free, let me remind you of something," Fang Ling said with a slightly serious tone. "Senior brother Fang, please speak." Xiao Han listened attentively. "Xiao Han, go to a desolate city in the western region and kill Demon Monarch Qinglin. My plan is to use the enormous pressure of Demon Monarch Qinglin to force you to complete the blood transformation and open your true acupoints. After you consumed the 7-day death-wishing pill, your entire body's spirit tensed up and expanded. Your potential reached its peak, and your life reached its most intense moment between life and death. At that time you will need to add fuel to the fire, to completely explode your inflated mind. At that time you might be able to sense the true acupoints. What you need to do is to use the formless saber intent to break open the true acupoints." Fang Ling pointed at a spot 3 inches below his heart. "Xiao Han, remember, the location of the first true meridian is here." "And?" Xiao Han also used his hand to press 3 inches below his heart. He closed his eyes and nodded. "Senior brother Fang, I'll remember this. After the first acupoint is opened, you will officially step into the Jinqi realm. From then on, you will be able to accurately sense the location of each acupoint. Generally speaking, after breaking through the first acupoint, one would continuously break through several acupoints in one go. However, the number of true acupoints that were opened for the first time was definitely less than 11. It's impossible to step into the second level of the Jinqi realm right after stepping into the Jinqi realm. Breaking through 1 to 10 true acupoints is the first level of the Jinqi realm. Breaking through 11 to 20 true acupoints is the second level of the Jinqi realm. Among them, the 11th true acupoint is a sturdy barrier. It's a bottleneck. How many true acupoints you can break after stepping into the first level of the Jinqi realm depends on your life potential, bloodline talent, and mental cultivation. I remember when I first stepped into the Jinqi realm, after breaking through the first true acupoint, I broke through 6 true acupoints in a row before stopping. Speaking of which, I should be considered an average talent. It's said that some high-level heroes and geniuses can break through 9 true acupoints consecutively the first time they break through the first level of the Jinqi realm. That's considered a monster of the highest quality. Fang Ling went on and on. "Xiao Han, before we fight Demon Monarch Qinglin, use the demonic aura and pressure he emits to force your way through. It's also very dangerous. When the time comes, I won't help you block the demonic aura that surges into my direction. If you can't withstand it, you might explode and die," Fang Ling said solemnly. Xiao Han subconsciously touched his heart and thought to himself, "Withstand the demonic aura? I'm blessed with the ability to do so. However, the demonic aura emitted by a demon monarch at his peak must be extremely ferocious. It's unknown whether the strange thing hibernating in my heart can withstand it. But I still have the indestructible golden body to protect me. I can still fight. Senior brother Fang, I'll do my best. In short, I still have a few days left in my life. I've already thrown caution to the wind. If I don't succeed, I'll just be shattered by the demonic aura and pressure of Demon Monarch Qinglin," Xiao Han said resolutely. Yes, it's a good thing that you have the determination to go all out. Fong Ling nodded. Then Fong Ling continued. Xiao Han, when you successfully break through the Jinqi acupoints and advance to the Jinqi realm, there will be a period where you have to be extremely cautious and tread on thin ice. Because at that time, you haven't been able to cultivate a Jinqi cultivation method and infuse your Jinqi into the Jinqi acupoints. Your Jinqi acupoints are empty, so your offensive and defensive abilities won't improve much compared to when you were in the physical body realm. It's just that your mental state and ability to think will change. It can be said that this is a period of time. If you're killed by humans or demons during this period, you'll be a fool. You won't be able to rest in peace even if you die. Yes, he had gone through so much to break through the Jinqi acupoints. If he died at this time, it would be a great regret. Senior brother Fong, after hearing what you said, it's true. If I don't advance to the Jinqi realm and die just like that, it's nothing. But if I die after advancing because I don't have time to infuse my Jinqi, it'll be a great misfortune. Xiao Han's heart palpitated when he thought of this situation. He was worried that it would happen to him and quickly reminded himself to be careful. Xiao Han, listen to me. When Demon Monarch Qing Lin makes his move, regardless of whether you've broken through the Jinqi acupoints or not, I'll definitely send you away from that area with my Jinqi. You won't be able to stay and watch the battle. A slight shockwave from a battle of that level would be enough to crush you. Remember, if you succeed in advancing to the Jinqi realm, you must find a place to hide. Don't make a fuss and wait for me to come find you. If you fail, then find a good place to bury yourself. Xiao Han was speechless. He then nodded. Senior brother Fong, I understand. Suddenly, Fong Ling's gaze looked towards the distant end of the night sky as he spoke in frustration. There's a third possibility. That is, I'll be killed by Demon Monarch Qing Lin in this battle. Xiao Han, if you advance to the Jinqi realm, find a quiet place to hide for 3 days. If I don't find you after 3 days, find a way to return to the Cloud Rain sect. Senior brother Fong, how can you die in battle? With so many demon heroes working together, you'll definitely be able to kill Demon Monarch Qing Lin. You'll return victorious. Xiao Han quickly said. Fong Ling shook his head and laughed. Xiao Han, do you know that the Bei Xian Demon Monarch's injuries were exchanged with the death of 11 demon heroes? Demon Monarch Qing Lin's attack power is even stronger than that of the Bei Xian Demon Monarch. Once the demon blade is drawn, not even a blade of grass will survive. He murmured as he looked at the true Qi silhouettes that were like shooting stars in the night sky. This time, I wonder how many demon heroes will be buried in the desert of the western region, forever losing the chance to return home. As soon as he finished speaking, a sharp sword gleam flashed across Fong Ling's eyes. There was even a sword intent that forcefully sliced apart the negative emotions and eliminated all distracting thoughts. He sat cross-legged and was as calm as a waterway. Xiao Han, I'll nurture my sword intent now to make the final preparations for the battle. You should also focus on the medicinal effect in your body. Yes, senior brother Fong. Xiao Han also activated his sword intent to eliminate all distracting thoughts. He emptied his mind and forgot about everything else. Morning. There were only 5 days left before Xiao Han's death. At this moment, Xiao Han's entire body felt uneasy as if he was sitting on pins and needles. His spirit was as tense as a bowstring and kept expanding. His 5 senses became extraordinarily sharp and the potential in his life was stimulated to the extreme. It caused the precious medicine that settled in Xiao Han's blood to dissolve continuously, speeding up the process of blood transfusion. The quality of his physical body unknowingly increased. Senior brother Fong, I feel that the medicinal power of the 7 days death-wishing pill has completely spread throughout my body. Right now, the gloomy aura of death in my body is becoming denser and denser. However, my reaction speed, thinking ability, and judgment ability have all been greatly enhanced. This is what you meant by, when one's mental state is stretched to its peak, the potential of one's life will burst forth like a flood. My premonition towards danger has also been enhanced. I can clearly sense even the slightest movement of a blade of grass in the wind. Xiao Han nervously said to Fong Ling, who was standing on the tiger's head with his hands behind his back. Yes, it is this state that allows you to be clearer and more penetrating. You can vividly sense the aura of danger that is about to come. When your spirit explodes, you will have the illusion that your soul has left your body. At that time, use your saber intent to eliminate all distracting thoughts and make your spirit flawless. Sense the location of the true acupoint. Remember the location of the first true acupoint that I told you. Fong Ling patiently advised. Senior brother Fong, I know. Xiao Han subconsciously touched the location 3 inches below his heart. I have already firmly imprinted the location of the first true acupoint in my mind. I won't forget it even if I die. That's good. Alright, we have arrived at the west region. With a thought from Fang Ling, the flying sword tiger dived downwards in an instant. Xiao Han hurriedly extended his head to take a look. Below him was a stretch of deep yellow. It was a vast and boundless desert. Boundless and boundless. Extremely desolate. In the middle of the desert there were also some jade-like oases. There were also various human kingdoms of various sizes. The flying sword tiger descended by several thousand meters and suddenly increased its speed. It tore through the air and flew forward swiftly. Xiao Han looked to his left and right. There were many great experts of the true Qi realm. They were either riding on rays of light or riding on dragons or riding on swords. All of them were heading in the same direction. Their speed was too fast. Xiao Han could not clearly see the appearances of these true Qi realm experts. However, he could feel the soaring aura and boiling battle intent from their bodies. After several hours, the flying sword tiger descended again. Furthermore, its flying speed began to slow down. Suddenly, the strange thing that was hibernating at the location of Xiao Han's heart began to turn slowly. Xiao Han glanced sideways at Fang Ling. Fang Ling narrowed his eyes, took a deep breath and murmured, "I'm almost there." At this moment, all the nerves in Xiao Han's body began to bulge. Even his mental energy was producing a popping sound. A huge sense of danger began to envelop Xiao Han. "Oh, my mental energy is getting more and more excited. It's as if it will explode at any moment. Let's sense the true acupoint. Now let's sense the true acupoint." Xiao Han did not dare to be negligent. He sat cross-legged and sank his mental energy into a position 3 inches below his heart. He concentrated and began to sense. That place should be the first true acupoint of the human body. However, at this moment, it was silent and lifeless, like a pool of stagnant water. Not long after, at the end of the horizon behind the rising and falling sand dunes, a desolate city appeared. A glass-like light pillar soared into the sky. It broke through the air and enveloped the entire city. Under the reflection of the sun and the sand, the glass-like light pillar glowed with a gorgeous rainbow. However, it was not a beautiful sight. It was demonic aura. A real demonic aura. The pressure on Xiao Han's body increased. The thing that was hibernating in his heart began to turn like a motor, dissolving the demonic aura. Bang bang bang, bang 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 bang, bang bang bang, bang bang bang. Xiao Han's heart was beating wildly, madly pounding against his chest. His temples were slightly throbbing. He even felt a little suffocated. However, at this moment, what? I feel some signs. Suddenly, in this almost dangerous atmosphere, the position of the first true acupoint, which had been silent all this time, started to throb slightly. However, this subtle feeling disappeared in a flash. Xiao Han did not catch too much of it. I really feel the traces of the first true acupoint. However, the pressure is not enough. Xiao Han opened his eyes. At this moment, the flying sword tiger had stopped flying. It was dozens of meters above the ground, floating in the air. Fang Ling stood proudly on the tiger's head. Sword chi surged all over his body, and he was as steady as a rock. His eyes were fixed on the desolate city in front of him. Clang! The long sword on Fang Ling's back let out a sword whistle. At the same time, dozens of demon warriors had already taken their positions and surrounded the desolate city. The desolate city was dead silent. It seemed that there was no longer any vitality in it. However, the overwhelming demonic aura indicated that there was a powerful demon in the city. It was Demon Emperor Qing Lin with boundless demonic power. Swoosh! Another Yao Xia flew over from the horizon. His whole body was overflowing with divine light, and he carried a long spear on his back. He remained silent and nodded to greet the few Yao Xia he was familiar with. Then he stood in his position. Bang! A saber light appeared and tore the sky apart. It slashed across the desert. The saber chi was violent, and thousands of tons of yellow sand were swept up. A yellow-robed swordsman in his 30s with a simple face stepped on the air and came over. The formless saber chi continuously cut through the white clouds and a path was formed. Under the saber chi, even the formless air was separated like water. Buzz! Xiao Han only felt that his saber intent and saber force were being suppressed. He felt so aggrieved that he wanted to vomit blood. Peerless swordsman. This yellow-robed swordsman must have comprehended a stronger saber intent than me. Xiao Han thought to himself. The yellow-robed swordsman carried a broken saber on his back. He had a domineering aura. He walked straight to Fang Ling and said expressionlessly, "You're here." "Just arrived," Fang Ling replied. The yellow-robed swordsman looked deeply at Fang Ling. On his calm face was a pair of gem-like eyes. That pair of eyes gave off a peerless saber intent. Your sword intent is getting sharper. I hope that I can fight with you for 3 days and 3 nights next time. That would be delightful. A peerless swordsman like you always makes me itch to fight. A year ago I obtained a saber manual. Perhaps you are no longer a match for me now. However, to determine the victor we will have to exchange more than 1,000 moves. Just thinking about it makes me happy. Likewise, Fang Ling said indifferently. This time don't die in battle. The yellow-robed swordsman nodded slightly. I'll try my best. You should try your best to survive. Without an opponent like you, I will inevitably be lonely in the future. Fang Ling and the yellow-robed swordsman looked at each other. In the next moment they actually laughed at the same time. Both of them stretched out their hands at the same time and held each other's hands. Soon they let go. This battle will be very difficult. It is unavoidable that some people will die. The yellow-robed swordsman shook his head. Suddenly he looked at Xiao Han and said emotionally, "This young man, not bad at all. Fang Ling, give this young man to me. Let him be my disciple. I will teach him the peerless saber technique." He has his own path. Fang Ling refused flatly. The yellow-robed swordsman looked disappointed. Then he smiled at Xiao Han for the first time. "Young man, cultivate well." After saying that, he walked away without turning his head back and stood in a position. The atmosphere was getting more and more tense. The desolate city seemed to be getting quieter and weirder. Xiao Han's mouth was dry and his heart was beating like a drum. He looked around and saw that among the dozens of evil heroes, the middle-aged man who was sleeping in the tornado, the middle-aged man with electric arcs shooting out of his eyes like a thunder god, and the naturally seductive Ananfei had arrived. Their expressions were as if they were facing a great enemy. At this moment, "Everyone, you have come here from far away to be killed by me. Thank you for your hard work." An extremely elegant voice came from the desolate city. Boom. The strange thing that was dormant in Xiao Han's heart swelled violently. A violent sense of crisis covered Xiao Han all of a sudden. It made Xiao Han feel like his spirit was about to explode. "Xiao Han, Demon Emperor Qinglin is about to come out. I will not resist the demonic aura and pressure that is rushing towards my direction. You will bear it all yourself. Start sensing the true acupoints." Fang Ling roared at Xiao Han in a stern voice. "Yes." Xiao Han sat cross-legged facing the desolate city. His face was solemn. At the next moment, whoosh, 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 999 rays of light and 999 rays of auspicious aura ran through the east, west, south and north, intertwining like a net. Dense flower petals rained down from the sky. A young man in a snow-white robe slowly rose from the desolate city. He bathed in the multicolored light, auspicious qi and glazed beams of light. He stood out from the crowd, extraordinary and refined. His bearing was simply calm and unruffled. He floated in the air with his back straight. His hands were empty and he had no weapon. It was actually a young man and he looked like a human, not a demon at all. He was about 25 or 26 years old. His face was as beautiful as jade, and his facial features were very delicate. His black hair was loosely draped over his shoulders. His hair was soft and light. He gave off a sense of tranquility, like a jade tree made of snow. However, his eyes were blood red. He had demonic red eyes. These blood-red eyes were like a sea of blood, as if they could swallow a person in an instant. It was extremely terrifying. Demon Emperor Qinglin. This was the fearsome Demon Emperor Qinglin with boundless demonic power. Not only did he not feel any discomfort when facing dozens of demon heroes, he became more and more at ease. The situation was extremely strange. Hong, 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 the thing that had been dormant in Xiao Han's heart surged like a tidal wave. It resisted Qinglin Demon Monarch's aura with great difficulty and dissolved the massive demonic aura that swept everything away. At the same time, his spirit swelled to the limit, as if it was about to explode in an instant. His entire body was drenched in cold sweat, and his breathing was labored as he trembled non-stop. "Xiao Han, begin sensing the true acupoints." Fang Ling's voice exploded in Xiao Han's ears. "P.S. It's 3:30. I really can't afford to be hurt." Chapter 80. Dozens of fiendish warriors unleashed their natal true qi. Beams of divine light, precious light and multicolored clouds fought against the fiendish qi. Demon Emperor Qinglin was clean and clean. He had a delicate and elegant smile on his face. However, his blood-red demonic eyes released endless craftiness and bloodlust. Normally, as long as a physical body realm martial artist was in such a bloody environment filled with demonic aura, unless there was a true Qi realm expert to help him resist the demonic aura, he would instantly shatter like a piece of porcelain. However, Xiao Han's physical body was extremely refined and he had taken the 7-day death-wishing pill. His life force might be able to last longer, but his life was still hanging by a thread. Fang Ling wanted Xiao Han to forcefully break through his true meridians under such pressure. The degree of danger was not something that could be explained in a few words. Xiao Han at this moment, Xiao Han sat cross-legged on the tiger's back. His eyes seemed empty and he seemed to be thinking but not thinking. Fang Ling opened his body and released the demonic aura that was supposed to be resisted by him onto Xiao Han's body. My spirit is about to explode. My physical body can't take it anymore. What a terrifying pressure. It's like facing an ancient Swanee. Xiao Han was enduring inhuman pain and suffering. Soon, blood seeped out of his eyes, ears, mouth and nose. Rumble, 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 rumble. The strange thing that was hibernating in his heart moved like a motor, dissolving the demonic aura. However, the speed of dissolving was far slower than the speed of the demonic aura invading Xiao Han's body. Goo 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 goo. Suddenly, Xiao Han's body swelled up like a balloon. Then it deflated and deflated. Then it swelled up again and deflated again. The cycle repeated itself. Fang Ling, that young man is about to explode. The yellow-clothed swordsman whispered to Fang Ling, "What are you doing? Do you think a physical body realm martial artist can withstand the pressure of a demon emperor? Don't play with fire. Quickly help him block the demonic aura. Otherwise he will explode into ashes in an instant." Fang Ling did not say anything. He looked at Xiao Han sternly. Cold sweat seeped out of his forehead. How could he not know the danger he was in at this moment? "Xiao Han, let's see if you can pull through." Fang Ling thought to himself. Damn it. It was about to burst. Invincible golden body, wash for this daddy. Xiao Han bit the tip of his tongue. Under the pain, his life force was stimulated once again. The abundant vitality in his body surged like a tide. Under the cleansing of the inextinguishable golden body, the violent demonic aura that invaded his body was somewhat alleviated. Immediately after, Xiao Han brought out his invisible saber intent and continuously shattered the demonic aura that enveloped him. He also tried to communicate with the demon monarch palm tattoo on his left arm to share the pressure. However, the demon monarch palm tattoo seemed to be defective, or it could only be used to kill demons and absorb their blood essence. Therefore, at this moment, it did not help Xiao Han absorb the demon qi around him. However, the inextinguishable golden body and saber intent worked together with the strange thing in his heart, greatly alleviating the danger of his body exploding. The next moment, the inflated body, after being castrated, actually no longer swelled. Oh, this little guy actually made it through? The group of demon warriors observed the strange Xiao Han with the corner of their eyes. What a strong vitality and flesh shell. Xiao Han. He had to seize the moment and sense the true acupoints. You won't be able to hold on for long. Furthermore, Demon Emperor Qing Lin might launch a sky-shattering attack at any time. Fang Ling roared. Sense the true acupoint. Sense the true acupoint. Xiao Han's mind continued to expand, and he actually had the illusion that his soul had left his body. Shockingly, 3 inches below his heart, Xiao Han vaguely saw a 5-pointed star that was emitting a blurry light. It was a 5-pointed star that contained a strange space. Could this be the true acupoint? This is the true acupoint? Xiao Han was neither sad nor happy. His body swelled up again, but he had already turned a deaf ear to it. His mind was completely immersed in the blurry 5-pointed star. However, the 5-pointed star was fleeting, and it disappeared in an instant. Damn it. I didn't seize this fleeting opportunity, but it's already a huge improvement. Again. Xiao Han's 7 orifices continued to spurt blood, and layers of bloody mist burst out from the surface of his skin. He looked extremely hideous and he could die at any time. At this moment, you bunch of monsters are really overestimating yourselves? Demon Emperor Qing Lin smiled faintly. I heard that the idiot Bei Shen Demon Emperor was besieged by a group of monsters a while ago, and he escaped with serious injuries. Diske, what a disgrace to us high-level monsters. Don't think that I'm as useless as the Bei Shen Demon Emperor. All the monsters that came today will die. The demonic qi around Demon Emperor Qing Lin suddenly increased again. The terrifying demonic qi was getting thicker and thicker, and it was almost solidifying. Some of the weaker monsters were shocked by the aura and took a step back, their faces turning pale. The encirclement created by dozens of fiend heroes began to lose ground, and a flaw began to appear. It was almost disintegrating. The monsters looked at each other and were ready to fight to the death. At this moment, Demon Emperor Qinglin, who do you think you are? Today you will die without a doubt. A voice filled with terrifying confidence descended from the sky. Boom. A blazing sun fell from 10,000 meters high in the sky. The scorching sun illuminated the world, magnificent and brilliant. Everywhere it passed, the demonic chi was burned and melted. The sun landed and turned into thousands of rays of divine light, entering the body of a dignified man. The man was wearing a golden robe, and his face looked like it was carved out of stone. He was cold and resolute, and his eyes were like a heavenly king, as if he was born to attract light. As soon as he appeared, it was as if he was the only person in the world. He was filled with invincible spirit and confidence. The smell of spring and autumn rose into the sky. In an instant, a sonorous hymn rushed out of the man's body. Golden sunlight shone in all directions, and in each ray of sunlight, one could vaguely see the shadows of countless living beings praying and worshipping, purifying the demonic chi, bringing life and hope. The great Son of Heaven is here. The group of swordsmen cheered up and shouted in unison. Their declining fighting spirit was once again raised. The sunlight and hymn washed away the fear and shadows in the hearts of the monsters, giving them the belief that they would win. Demon Emperor Qinglin's expression finally changed. The great Son of Heaven, known as the 100,000 Demon Slayers, an all-powerful big shot on the demon hero list. I didn't expect that you would also come. Very good. Today I'll let you, a big shot, fall under my world-destroying demon blade. Demon Emperor Qinglin put his palms together. Countless red tentacles rushed out of Demon Emperor Qinglin's body. Each tentacle was 30 meters long, swaying and full of barbs, emitting a destructive demonic light and evil demonic chi. A red scimitar appeared in Demon Emperor Qinglin's right hand. The scimitar was covered with evil ancient demon runes, and there was an eyeball embedded in it that was blinking slightly. The eyeball was so demonic that it seemed like it was going to devour everything in the world. Traces of light were devoured by the eyeball on the scimitar, and the entire desert gradually became dark. He finally took out the world-destroying demon blade. I've been wanting to see it for a long time. A blazing sun rushed out from the head of the great Sun Emperor, and the divine light was dense like a tide. A god sat cross-legged in the blazing sun with his eyes closed, but terrifying majesty and power were brewing within him. Dozens of fiendish heroes were preparing their strongest attacks. The world-shocking battle was about to begin. The world became quiet. At this moment, a heart-wrenching scream rose into the sky, breaking the silence before the battle. Xiao Han, who was sitting on the back of the flying sword tiger, had expanded to the size of half an acre. He looked like a meatball that was about to explode. After Demon Emperor Qinglin took out the world-destroying demon blade, Xiao Han, who was at the physical body realm, finally could not withstand the pressure anymore. His mind was about to explode, and his body was about to be destroyed. In a flash, the location of the first true acupoint. I found it. Blade intent / Xiao Han ignited the inextinguishable golden body in his body, and the strange thing that was hibernating in his heart started to move at the fastest speed. All of this bought Xiao Han a breath of time. Boom! The blade intent that could slash through the void directly struck the first true acupoint. At the next moment, a crisp sound was heard as if an eggshell had cracked. Xiao Han's first true acupoint had been opened. 3 inches below Xiao Han's heart, there was a 5-pointed star that was emitting rays of light. Success. I, Xiao Han, have succeeded. At the moment of death, my true acupoint has been completely broken, and I've reached the true chi realm. Xiao Han's hot tears flowed down his face. Then Xiao Han's inflated body deflated and returned to normal. His body was covered in blood. What? At the same time, Demon Emperor Qinglin's crimson eyes emitted a dazzling demonic light, and he shouted at Xiao Han. What are you hiding on your body? Come here now. Xiao, a feeler instantly extended to 100 zhang long, and like a long whip, it swept towards Xiao Han. The demonic aura broke through the air, and a blood-curdling scream could be heard. In the blink of an eye. Don't even think of touching him. The sword light around Fang Ling shone brightly, and a huge sword lotus rose from his head. The violent sword aura, along with the sword intent that could slash through the void, pierced through heaven and earth and cut through all living things. The sword lotus flew out at a speed faster than the speed of sound, and slashed at the red feeler that was wrapping around Xiao Han. Puchi. The feeler shattered. At the next moment, Xiaohan, go. Remember, find a place to hide and don't make a scene. Wait for me for 3 days. Fang Ling grabbed Xiaohan with his right hand and threw him in the opposite direction. Come back here. Demon Emperor Qing Lin's demonic blade shook, and a demonic red blade radiance slashed out. Everywhere it passed, the space was distorted and the void was shattered. The fragments of space and light were absorbed by the blade radiance, and its speed was several times faster than the speed of sound. In the blink of an eye, it was about to crush Xiaohan. Ah! Demon Emperor Qing Lin, your opponent is me. The Great Sun Emperor also moved. In the blazing sun above his head, the god that was entrenched in the sun suddenly stretched out a palm and grabbed the red blade radiance. The palm was formed by pure sunlight, and it was enshrouded in ancient and great runes. It was surrounded by hymns and true fire, and it was almost invincible. As for Xiaohan, he was sent flying a few hundred li away by Fang Ling's true qi. Just as he landed on the ground, there was a cracking sound, and the second acupoint in Xiaohan's body was opened. Then, crack, 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 one after another, the true acupoints exploded without end. P.S. Xiaohan has finally reached the true qi realm. Ah! He broke through before he died. Chapter 81. Ascending to the heavens in a single bound. Just as senior brother Fang had said, after the first acupoint was opened, the second acupoint, the third acupoint, exploded continuously. In the blink of an eye, Xiaohan had continuously blasted 9 of his acupoints. Only then did he stop and calm down. What? I actually exploded a total of 9 acupoints? This is unbelievable. I heard from senior brother Fang that when he first entered the true qi realm, he was only able to open 6 acupoints. Only some of the most talented experts are able to open 9 acupoints. Such people are as rare as phoenix feathers and qilin horns. Opening acupoints is related to the foundation of one's body, mental strength, and innate talent. It seems like it's because of my tough body and the fact that I'm a transmigrator, my soul is blessed by the heavens. However, let's not worry about this for now. In the next moment, Xiaohan's mind moved slightly. Xiao 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 xiao, 9 glowing 5-pointed stars flew out of Xiaohan's body and hovered around him. Xiaohan's soul had an inseparable connection with these 9 5-pointed stars. They were like a part of Xiaohan's body. Every 5-pointed star had its own space that could store anything. Of course, the most important thing was to store true qi. However, Xiaohan did not cultivate any true qi cultivation method at the moment. Thus, the 9 acupoints were completely empty with nothing inside. This feeling was as if Xiaohan had bought 9 luxurious residences, but the 4 walls were bare, without any furniture or ornaments. However, Xiaohan's mental strength and the way his thoughts operated had indeed undergone a transformation. Xiaohan's eyes and ears were sharp and attentive. The colors of the entire world became more distinct. Xiaohan could hear the sand scorpions and snakes moving under the sand in the distance. He could see a few grains of sand floating in the air 10 zhang away. He could even sense people's gazes. If someone was spying on him from behind, he would definitely be able to sense it. Xiao. Xiaohan raised his right hand and casually slashed out with a knife hand, shooting out saber qi. All of a sudden, the saber qi stopped and changed its trajectory. The saber qi that was supposed to be moving in a straight line suddenly made a turn and slashed towards the right. The trajectory was ever-changing, but it also had a natural feeling, untraceable and unpredictable. You can easily control the trajectory of the saber qi with your thoughts, controlling it as you wish. This is something a physical body realm martial artist will never be able to do. Xiaohan nodded. Currently, Xiaohan had also completed the blood exchange. The strength of his flesh shell had increased to 350 cauldrons, which was no small matter. Balls of light burst out of his heart, revealing the follow-up techniques of the Son of Heaven's divine fist, the indestructible golden body, and the 7-fragment saber art. However, Xiaohan was not in a hurry to study these cultivation methods. Now is not the time. Currently, Xiaohan had just entered the true qi realm, and he had yet to infuse his true qi into his acupoints. As Fang Ling had said, Xiaohan had to be cautious during this period of time. He had to find a place to hide and not be killed by humans or the demon clan. Otherwise, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Moreover, Xiaohan still did not know how to combine his martial techniques with his true qi to increase his power, so he was not in a hurry to learn it. Xiaohan focused his mind and sensed his surroundings. The strange thing hibernating in his heart and the demonic monarch palm tattoo on his left arm also circulated slightly. Once he discovered the presence of the demonic race nearby, he would react in advance. But luckily the place where Xiao Han was at was still safe, and there was nothing out of the ordinary. Right at this moment, boom, boom, boom. The earth shook violently and sand and dust flew everywhere. Xiao Han looked in the direction of the sound, and saw that hundreds of miles away, divine light soared into the sky, and rays of light rose, and there was a fierce demonic aura sweeping wildly. The battle has started. Senior Brother Fong and the group of demons have started a fierce battle with Demon Emperor Qinglin. Even though he was hundreds of miles away from the battlefield at this moment, Xiao Han's heart still tightened, and there was a sense of unease. Although I am now in the True Qi realm, my offense and defense are weak. Any martial artist in the True Qi realm can kill me as long as they infuse their acupoints with True Qi. If I encounter the demon generals of the demon clan, I am afraid that I can only die with a grievance. Over there, the divine light is everywhere, and the demonic aura can destroy the world. I am afraid that the flames of war will spread here. I should hide as far away as possible. Xiao Han cherished himself more than ever. It was as if he was walking on thin ice. Immediately he took a step forward and ran wildly in the vast desert, running in the opposite direction of the battlefield. Shockingly, I feel like someone is watching me. Xiao Han keenly sensed it. He closed his eyes slightly, and a pair of demonic eyes that were like blood moons immediately appeared in his mind, emitting a monstrous evil aura. It's Demon Emperor Qinglin spying on me. Damn it, he must have seen through the shocking secret hidden in my heart. That secret is related to the demon clan. It seems that this demon clan has his eyes on me. It's really unlucky to be targeted by such a powerful demon clan. Xiao Han's hair stood on end, and he immediately sped up, leaving behind a trail of thick smoke and dust in the desert. 4 hours later, Xiao Han ran for hundreds of miles. Looking back at the battlefield, the fierce battle was still going on. Mushroom clouds and tornadoes soared into the sky, and the yellow sand was blown up in tens of thousands of tons. It was as terrifying as it could be. Dangerous. Xiao Han did not dare to delay and continued to run. After running for an entire day and night, he finally stopped in front of a desolate city. Phew, it should be fine. Xiao Han bent down and panted heavily. He took the opportunity to take out a leather bag filled with water from his storage ring, opened the stopper and greedily drank the mountain spring water that emitted the fragrance of life. That was the water that Fong Ling had prepared for Xiao Han beforehand, so that he could survive in the desert. After drinking his fill, Xiao Han's mind moved. He realized that Demon Emperor Qinglin's spying had weakened a lot, and was no longer as intense and terrifying as before. Xiao Han heaved a sigh of relief. He considered whether he should enter the desolate city in front of him, rest for a while and then continue running. At this moment, the strange thing that was hibernating in his heart started to spin rapidly. In the next moment, boom, 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 boom. The yellow sand beneath his feet stirred, and a bloodthirsty demon roar burst forth from the desolate city in front of him. Countless demons surged out from the dilapidated city gate. Heart-wrenching screams rang out, and it was heart-wrenching. Most of these demons were about 1.9 meters tall, and they were in human form. Their brownish-red skin was as hard as steel. With a slight movement they would let out a long whistle. Their claws were like eagles, their eyes were like wolves, their legs were like toads, and their arms were like pythons. Their aura was surging, and they were violent and bloodthirsty. They were loose demons. There were also a few demon soldiers among them. Logically speaking, with Xiao Han's current combat strength, he should be able to kill a large number of loose demons, or even demon soldiers with the strength of his flesh shell. However, there were too many demons pouring out of the desolate city. They were as dense as a swarm of locusts, numbering in the thousands. Their toed legs were very strong, and with just a slight leap, they could cover a distance of over 10 feet. Thousands of loose demons surged over like a tide, like tens of thousands of galloping horses. The momentum was extremely fierce. Xiao Han did not dare to continue fighting, and in the end he was surrounded. Who knew if a demon general would suddenly appear in this demon race army? Xiao Han's life was very precious now, and he could not afford to make any mistakes. It was a tragedy to be buried in the western region desert when he had just reached the true energy realm. Immediately, the storage ring on Xiao Han's right hand flashed, and a single saber appeared in his hand. In one breath he slashed out dozens of sharp saber chi. The saber chi blasted into the demon army and exploded rapidly, turning into a sky full of saber rain. It was warm, lingering, romantic, and filled with unparalleled killing intent. Countless demons were shredded by the saber rain. Severed limbs flew everywhere and demon blood formed a river. Run, don't get entangled. Xiao Han slowed down the demon army slightly, turned around and ran as fast as lightning. Suddenly, the blood essence of the demon corpses that were shredded by the saber rain turned into rays of light and entered the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm. The demon monarch palm tattoo throbbed happily, swallowing the blood essence of the demon race like a whale. It was like a drunkard encountering fine wine, or a lecher entering the ladies' room of a rich family. On Xiao Han's demon monarch palm tattoo, 2 demon veins had been awakened, and he had 200 ding of strength. At this moment, the 3rd demon vein was moving, showing signs of awakening. And Xiao Han's sprinting figure paused and he turned around and brandished his saber. A ray of saber chi slashed out with lightning speed, and it immediately shattered. The broken jade slithered like a snake, and the saber rain blossomed like fireworks, shredding a few more loose demons. It even shattered the left arm of a demon soldier. Swish, swish, swish. A large amount of demon race's blood essence merged into the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm. Suddenly, Xiao Han's left arm flashed with demonic light, and the 3rd dried-up demon vein was finally filled with demonic power. It was crystal clear and pure. Awakened. And not bad. Xiao Han deeply felt the violent power faintly seeping out from the demon monarch palm tattoo on his left arm. His index finger moved, and the saber in his right hand danced continuously. The hand that wielded the saber turned into a series of afterimages. A few breaths later, boom, a giant saber astral instantly formed. The peerless saber, light, sharp and pure, dominated the world. Countless demons let out frightened screams, and they had an ominous premonition of death. They all stopped jumping and wanted to escape. But it was too late. All of them are nourishment for the demon monarch palm tattoo. This is great. Kill them. The giant saber astral slashed out at a speed close to the speed of sound, destroying gods and demons. PFFF. Everywhere the saber astral slashed, yellow sand was swept up into the sky, and was immediately crushed into nothingness by the saber chi. This saber astral slashed across, and at least 1/5 of the thousands of loose demons were slashed. Endless demon race's blood essence surged into the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm like a landslide and tsunami. Swish, 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 swish. Demonic light flashed on Xiao Han's left arm continuously. The 4th, 5th, 6th. Another 3 demon veins were awakened on the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm. It was a total of 600 ding. This is great. This is great. Xiao Han was in high spirits. At this moment, a gloomy and miserable voice came from the back of the demon army. Damn it. Human, how dare you kill my subordinates so wantonly? I'm going to suck your brain dry. I'm going to share your flesh and blood with my subordinates. And I'm going to smash your bones into powder. Boom. A gigantic demon rose into the air and a ferocious demonic wind covered the skies. Everywhere, the wind howled and cranes shrieked in all directions. It was a bleak scene. It was a 10 feet tall great demon with a sharp black horn on its head. Its skin was black as well. Huge tendons that looked like evil dragons were wriggling under its skin, producing the sound of raging waves beating on the shore. Its body was covered with sharp spikes, and every spike was surrounded by demonic chi and lightning. Its thick tail was 10 feet long, and when it swung back and forth, it caused the air to explode. From its body, there was even a faint sound of ghosts wailing and wolves howling. Under the feet of this great demon, there was a blood-red bat that was about half an acre in size. Its canines were as sharp as blades, and its extremely evil demonic chi rumbled like thunder, causing the sky to change color. It's a demon general? Xiao Han's heart skipped a beat. A demon general was equivalent to a human martial artist at the true chi realm. To be more precise, it was equivalent to a human martial artist at the low-stage true chi realm. It was already 3:30. I can't wait any longer. Ask for recommendation votes. Recommend a book, by the way. Chapter 82. That demon general's demonic aura surged into the heavens, his demonic eyes filled with viciousness and brutality. He stood on a bloodthirsty bat formed from demonic aura. Demonic winds corroded the sun, and the mountains and rivers were dyed in blood. Waves of terrifying danger surrounded Xiao Han like a tidal wave. However, the 9 true acupoints in his body trembled slightly, causing Xiao Han's entire body to feel comfortable and refreshed. He no longer felt pressured by the demon general's aura. In fact, Xiao Han's aura was comparable to that of the demon general. Unfortunately, he hadn't cultivated any true qi in his true acupuncture points. If he wanted to fight, he could only rely on his physical strength. Oh! The demon general suddenly froze, then roared. Ah! It turned out that he was a Jinchi realm martial artist of the human race. However, there was not the slightest fluctuation of Jinchi from him, as though he had just stepped into Jinchi realm and had yet to cultivate. Ah! What luck! The brains and flesh of human true Qi realm martial artists, TSK. Nourishing. It has been a long time since I ate a human true Qi realm martial artist. The demonic aura around the demon general burned even more intensely, filled with greed and killing intent. Right at this moment, die. Xiaohan waved the saber in his right hand, and a streak of saber qi shot out like lightning. The air rippled, and in an instant, the saber light was about to strike the demon general. Xiaohan took the initiative to attack, trying to fight for a chance of survival. However, this saber light, which surpassed half the speed of sound, did not manage to hit the demon general. Its thinking and reaction speed far surpassed that of a demon soldier. Loose demons were also faster than any human mortal body realm martial artist. With a grab of his right hand, a gigantic demonic aura palm appeared out of thin air and grabbed the saber light firmly. Xiaohan paused for a moment. The next moment, bang! The saber light exploded in the demon general's demon chi palm. Jade shards were torn apart, and the sky was filled with a rain of sabers. Buff, buff, buff. The rain of sabers slashed and strangled the gigantic demonic aura palm, causing a series of explosions and green smoke to rise. Damn it! The demon general was in pain. Suddenly, the bloodthirsty demonic bat opened its bloody mouth, and a demonic chi bullet instantly formed. It was the size of a wash basin, and it rumbled out, exploding toward Xiaohan. The demonic chi bullets had withered the air in the surroundings, creating a gloomy and despairing atmosphere that was devoid of any vitality. The speed of the bomb of demonic energy was close to the speed of sound. A human martial artist at the physical body realm would definitely not be able to avoid it. However, at this moment, the demonic chi bullet, which should have arrived in an instant, seemed to slow down in Xiaohan's eyes. Xiaohan's body leaped forward a few feet, and he actually managed to dodge the demonic chi bullet. Even though my true acupoints have yet to refine true chi, my thoughts are more than 2 times faster than a physical body realm martial artist. Thus, a strike that seems as fast as lightning is nothing more than an ordinary strike in my eyes. Xiaohan suddenly understood. However, at this moment he was determined not to continue fighting. He didn't want to use the strength of his body to fight a demon general to the death. If he continued to be in a stalemate, he was afraid that some other problems would arise. At that time, if a few more demon generals came over, then it wouldn't be fun anymore. With just a thought, Xiaohan's body tore through the air. He was already more than 100 feet away. Boom! The demon chi bomb blasted out a scorched land that was several feet wide and several feet deep. Even the gravel was corroded into ashes by the demon chi. It was extremely terrifying. The demon general paused for a moment when he saw Xiaohan dodge the demonic chi bullet and rush over 100 feet in the blink of an eye. Immediately, he let out a sharp roar. Chase them. We must catch him. This is a human martial artist who has just reached the true chi realm. Sucking his brain can increase the quality of my demon chi. We cannot let him go. Moreover, he seems to be hiding some treasure on his body that attracts this general. Kill. With a command, the loose demon army was led by a few demon soldiers. They trampled across the desert and chased after Xiaohan like 10,000 horses galloping. They hopped around like fleas. They were extremely ferocious and the scene was horrifying. Boom. Boom. Another 2 demon chi bombs exploded toward Xiaohan. Xiaohan turned his body and dodged the attack in a slightly awkward manner. He didn't stop and continued to run for his life. His heart was filled with hatred. Damn it. Wait until I refine true chi. I will definitely slaughter all of you bastards. All of you will become nourishment for my demon god palm tattoo. At this moment, rumble, rumble. Another loose demon army came from the left side of Xiaohan. Their numbers were astonishing. They covered the sky and the sun. They hopped around like fleas and kicked up thousands of feet of yellow sand. It was as if thousands of soldiers and horses were fighting on the battlefield. So many? Xiaohan hurriedly ran to the right. Foolish human, you can't escape. The demon general let out an owl-like shriek. Within 1,000 li radius, all of my tribes are here. You will die. Obediently let this general suck your brain dry. Ga. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao, a wisp of air condensed into a peerless saber light. With the speed of sound, like a meteor chasing after the moon, it silently slashed towards the demon general. It was a wisp of saber intent. Peerless sharpness. Cut through the void. Pooh! The demon general tilted his head. However, his face was also slashed by the saber intent. Demon blood spurted out violently. Roar! The demon general howled miserably. The terrifying roar shook the mountains and rivers, crushing people's livers and brains. The demon general was finally furious. Shio! The bloodthirsty demon bat burned with a blazing demonic light. Like a ray of flowing light, it chased after Xiao Han, dragging a flaming tail. Soon the top of Xiao Han's head was shrouded by a dark cloud. The bloodthirsty demon bat appeared above Xiao Han's head and was about to spit out world-destroying demon chi bombs. Personally lead the army. Xiao Han's heart was like a boulder. The son of heaven's great power appeared out of nowhere. The air in front of him was split into two and rolled away. With an irresistible force, Xiao Han forcefully tore apart the air. His speed sharply increased as he rushed out. Boom, 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 boom. Several demon chi bombs exploded in the area where Xiao Han had been, leaving behind a rotten mess. Scorched earth spread out and deathly aura filled the air. At this moment, Xiao Han was possessed by the Son of Heaven's great power. He displayed the Son of Heaven's great power and personally led the army. His speed was like a ray of light, drawing a straight line in the great desert as he sped away. The demon race army in all directions did not give up on the pursuit. Like a stampede of elephants, they faintly formed an encirclement around Xiao Han. While running, Xiao Han raised his eyes and looked around. Yellow sand was flying everywhere. Demonic chi was rising. Within the sand mist, pairs of bloodthirsty demonic eyes appeared. In the sky, the demon general sat on the bloodthirsty demon bat, commanding the loose demons and demon soldiers to surround and attack Xiao Han. The number of loose demons and demon soldiers that participated in the encirclement this time had already exceeded 10,000. It seemed that the western region was very different from the southern region that Xiao Han came from. The southern region was dominated by human countries. The demon race could only stealthily come out to cause trouble. As for the western region, the demon race was too rampant. They even formed tribes and killed people on sight. With so many loose demons, even if I kill them all, my physical strength will probably be exhausted. Furthermore, there is still a demon general eyeing me. This time, could it be that I, Xiao Han, am going to die in this desert? I've just reached the true Qi realm. Am I going to die just like this? I am unwilling. Xiao Han made up his mind. The single saber in his hand buzzed. With the support of the saber intent, the Son of Heaven's great power gradually rose. The demon the arch-palm tattoo on his left arm throbbed. Xiao Han wanted to use all his trump cards and kill his way out. However, at this moment, hula. All of a sudden, without any warning, Xiao Han's feet directly sank into the sand. Before he could react, his entire body had already sunk deep into the sand. Boom! There was a wave on the surface of the sand. Not long after, it returned to calmness. It was as if Xiao Han had suddenly been swallowed by a desert monster. What? Sand trap? The demon general in the sky shook his head with extreme regret. The bloodthirsty demon bat also stopped flying. It hovered in the air and flapped its wings. Leader, it's sand trap. That human is dead for sure. A demon soldier below screamed. It is said that in ancient times, this desert was the paradise of the human race. Many countries were established here and flourished for a time. Even today, under the vast yellow sand, there are still many ruins of ancient human countries and some human martial artists' cave abodes. The sand trap is a mysterious spectacle in this desert. It might be a mysterious power buried in the desert that occasionally activates and devours living beings. Whether it is the human race or our demon race, if they encounter the sand trap, they will definitely die. The demon general sounded the gong to retreat with extreme reluctance. At this moment, Xiao Han, boom, 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 Xiao Han was directly pulled into the desert by an inexplicable force and quickly passed through the desert. Endless gravel and gravel pressed against Xiao Han from all directions and filled his eyes, ears, mouth and nose. Puff, 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 puff. The saber chi around Xiao Han's body bloomed and crushed a large amount of gravel and sharp stones that were pressing towards him. His left arm flashed and the demon Thearka's palm burst out with 600 ding of strength. After an unknown amount of time, when Xiao Han was almost exhausted, Xiao Han's entire body suddenly sank into the ground. Sinking. Sinking. Bang. In the end, Xiao Han's feet were in the air and he actually fell somewhere. His feet were steady. It was not sand but solid soil under his feet. Xiaohan shook his head and spat out the sand in his mouth. Then he dug his ears, nose and eyes, making endless grains of sand. Finally, with a wave of saber chi, he crushed all the sand on his body. When he looked up, Xiaohan was stunned. He noticed that the place he was in was absolutely not a desolate desert, but a primitive jungle that was covered in luxuriant foliage that was full of vitality. The roots of thousand-year-old trees were intertwined with each other while the vines that were 100 years old coiled around it. Between the trees, there were traces of divine light and precious clouds, bringing light to this dark and mysterious area where the sun could not shine all year round. In the endless light, Xiaohan's eyes could see, and he looked left and right in a daze. Xiaohan sensed that the dense spiritual energy in this forest was extraordinary. What? The divine light floating on the treetops is actually vital energy. Xiaohan was shocked. He did not expect that there would be a large amount of vital energy in this area. However, after a slight sensing, there was no sign of life in the surroundings. It seemed that there were no living creatures. Looking up, the top was dark, deep, and sealed. This place seemed to be a world of sand. To be more precise, it was an ancient ruin that was buried by the desert. The bottom of the vast desert is actually a completely different world. That's right, I remember Senior Brother Fong once said that the Western region Great Desert was not a desert during the ancient times, but a paradise for the human race. There were countless martial artists and a prosperous country. Xiaohan walked forward and found that the spiritual energy in front of him was even more abundant. Streams of spiritual energy that seemed to be tangible rose to the top of an ancient tree and formed a spiritual cloud. Xiaohan was extremely curious. He walked around an ancient tree that looked like a palm in 2 or 3 steps. Xiaohan came to a place that was emitting dense spiritual energy. It was an area of more than 10 mu, surrounded by mountain walls on 3 sides. In the middle of the area, there was a lake that was a few mu in size. The lake water was the color of agate, crystal clear, and full of spiritual energy. On the surface of the lake, there was an indescribably mysterious and graceful divine light. Beside the lake, there was an ancient stone tablet. Surprisingly, Xiaohan also found that on one of the mountain walls, there was a complete human skeleton. The bone material was as clear as jade, and there was a faint light emitting from it. This world of sand is really strange. There are actually humans who died here. Their flesh and blood have been eroded by time, leaving behind only a set of bones. Xiaohan licked his lips and walked to the stone tablet by the lake. He raised his head and looked at it. At the same time, a divine light as thick as a thumb, several zhang long, swept past Xiaohan's eyes, emitting a distant ancient aura. It was as if it was the true qi left behind by a true qi realm martial artist in the ancient times. Everything is too strange, too mysterious. P.S. It's going to be published soon. The public version has been updated for more than a month. Every day I stayed up late, worried, and couldn't sleep at night. Finally, it's going to be published. The time to test the results of a book has arrived. Panic unease, the pressure is very great. This Demon God is the second Eastern fantasy book that I wrote. After thinking for a long time, I have many settings and ideas for the later content. However, I didn't write it out and I don't dare to say that it will be good. However, I hope everyone can read it patiently. I will try my best to create a world full of fantasy and passion for everyone. Then, after it is published, it means that it will be charged. In the past, every time it was published, I didn't specifically mention these things. But today I want to say a few words. As a writer, especially a full-time writer like me, the livelihood of my family depends on this little bit of writing. Don't be unreasonable, this is my rice bowl, my source of livelihood and my entire income. I believe everyone has heard a lot about writing recently. Some of his writer friends suffered from serious illnesses due to their irregular lifestyles. There are also some who die suddenly at home. This is indeed a tough job. In the past few years, I have been writing at home after quitting my job, and my body has gained more than 20 pounds. This is a sign of obesity, a sign of suboptimal health. Staying up late for a long time, smoking a lot because of thinking about the plot, my life is irregular and my meals are also irregular. Forget it, I won't complain. What I want to say is, if you can afford it, you should subscribe and support it. Actually, it's still the same thing, a monthly subscription fee for a book is only a few yuan. Nowadays prices are so high, a few yuan is probably the price of a small dish. But this is the basic foundation that I rely on to survive. Well, you can recharge VIP in internet cafes and newsstands, you don't have to use online banking. Everyone can go to internet cafes or Computer City to ask. Okay, see you after midnight. Alright, recommend a good book. Chapter 83. Wisps of divine light true chi flashed past Xiaohan's eyes. An ancient aura pervaded the air. Fishes and dragons danced in the air. It was a marvelous sight. Xiaohan looked carefully, and saw that each and every wisp of divine light true energy was filled with blurry oracle bone inscriptions and hieroglyphs. There were even little turtles that were slowly swimming around them. Of course, Xiaohan understood that the turtles in the light were only formed from true chi. They were not real turtles. Too miraculous. Really too miraculous. Xiaohan clicked his tongue repeatedly. After that, he disregarded the true chi that was like the glow of dawn and carefully stared at the stone tablet by the side of the lake. There were a few simple and unadorned characters carved on the stone tablet, and the strokes were strong and forceful. Earth Vein Spirit Spring. So this lake is the Earth Vein Spirit Spring. Xiaohan thought to himself as he looked at the amber lake that was filled with boundless spirit chi. It can't be some kind of treasure medicine, right? Other than the words Earth Vein Spirit Spring, there were some smaller words on the stone tablet. Xiaohan glanced at them. Earth Vein Spirit Spring Body Refining Treasure Medicine. Bathing in the spirit spring can strengthen bones, wash hair and marrow, rebirth, increase lifespan. So it really is a treasure medicine. Xiaohan nodded. However, it is only a body-refining treasure medicine. For a true Qi realm martial artist, it seems to be a little useless. Also, my indestructible golden body is also a top-notch body-refining technique. The more I practice, the more resistant I get. Body-refining elixirs aren't that attractive to me. The most important thing right now is to obtain the 8 meridians of true Qi. Once I pour my true Qi into my 9 meridians, my battle prowess will skyrocket. Forget it. I will go over there and take a look. I will come back later to bathe in the Earth Vein Spirit Spring. Xiaohan walked towards the human skeleton on the mountain wall. When he got closer, he bent down to take a look. Every bone of this skeleton was emitting a faint light. Moreover, the bones were flawless as if they were carved from jade. One look and it was obvious that this skeleton belonged to a martial artist. After a mortal died, their flesh would rot and their bones would wither. How could there be such a sparkling ivory skeleton? However, the martial artist who died here must have been dead for a long time. After all, a martial artist's body and internal organs were much stronger than ordinary people's. After death, their corpses could be stored for a long time before they started to rot and wither. As for the corpse before them, its flesh and internal organs had long since been mercilessly eroded and annihilated by the passage of time. Not even dregs were left and only a skeleton was left. Xiaohan raised his head and saw streams of twilight chi circling around the corpse, as if they were protecting it. Oh, I know. The deceased must have been a Jinchi realm expert, and this should be his abode. The Jinchi swimming around here was very likely the Jinchi he had cultivated before his death, and it had yet to completely dissipate. The Earth Vein Spirit Spring in the lake was also a precious medicine left behind by this true Qi stage martial artist. A thought flashed through Xiaohan's mind. AI, but it's a pity, a true Qi realm expert perished here. Thousands of years later, because of the movement of the Earth's crust, he is still buried in the sand, unable to see the light of day. Xiaohan felt a tinge of regret in his heart. His gaze shifted downward. Xiaohan saw the right index finger of the corpse extend out, as if directly embedded into the ground. Xiaohan wiped away the thick layer of dried leaves and moss covering the ground, gradually revealing a bluestone slab. There were actually words carved on the slab. Oh! Before this true Qi realm expert died, he used his right index finger to carve words on the slab. It's his last words. Xiaohan immediately understood, focusing his gaze to read the words. I, Venerable Spirit Turtle, 5th Stage True Qi, traversed the western regions, but I did not expect that I would go berserk while cultivating. Medicine and pills cannot cure me, resulting in half of my body being paralyzed. I left behind the Earth Vein Spirit Spring in my abode, for those who are fated. This Earth Vein Spirit Spring was moved here from the northern regions and poured into the lake. Bathing in the Earth Vein Spirit Spring strengthens the body and increases lifespan. But those who are fated must bury the corpse before bathing in the spring. Remember. Before I died, I had already chosen a treasured place to bury my corpse, under a 10,000-year-old fir tree to the north of the lake. I fear it will be disturbed by rats and ants, so I ask those who are fated to dig 7 feet into the ground and bury me. I will reward them handsomely. Venerable Spirit Turtle? 5th Stage True Qi? Xiaohan was taken aback. In the True Qi realm, one would open 1 to 10 true acupoints, which was the first stage of True Qi. The fifth stage of true Qi was the opening of 41 to 50 true acupoints. TSK, opening so many true acupoints. Just how much true Qi can be stored? That's too impressive. As it seemed, the venerable spirit turtle was no simple cultivator. He was definitely something else. He might have been an all-powerful figure in the past. Xiaohan clicked his tongue and sighed. Then he felt pity for the venerable spirit turtle, shaking his head and laughing. Senior venerable spirit turtle, your cultivation is so great, yet you actually succumbed to Qi deviation and died here. Even now, your corpse is exposed in the wilderness. It's extremely pitiful. Thinking about it, Xiaohan carefully picked up the venerable spirit turtle's corpse and made his way to the north of the lake. Forget it. Forget it. Venerable spirit turtle, I Xiaohan didn't covet your earth vein spiritual spring. It's just that I saw how you, a mighty true Qi realm expert, actually died without a proper burial, so I decided to bury you along the way. I hope you know this in the afterlife and help me escape from here and return to the surface. What Xiaohan did not expect was that a mere corpse would actually weigh 1,000 pounds. This indicated that the venerable spirit turtle's body must have been extremely strong when he was alive. One must know that Xiaohan's body was extremely refined. His current body weight, including his flesh and bones, was only 5,600 pounds. TSK as expected of a true Qi realm grade expert. After so many years of death, a few bones are heavier than my entire body. Xiaohan laughed involuntarily. Xiaohan circled to the north of the lake and indeed saw an ancient fir tree that towered into the sky. It was 5 to 60 meters tall and exuded an ancient aura. Digging 7 feet into the ground and burying me? That's nothing. Xiaohan's left arm flashed with a demonic light. The demonic emperor's palm suddenly burst out. A demonic wind filled the air, causing the trees to rustle in all directions. Bang! The demonic emperor's palm slammed into the ground and 600 ding of strength burst out. The palm pierced into the ground. Crack, crack, crack. Cracks spread everywhere like a spider web. In the next moment, rubble flew into the sky and was ground into powder by Xiaohan's saber Qi. A huge crater appeared on the ground. Smoke and dust filled the air. However, in the middle of the crater, within the soil, there was a huge stone slab with words engraved on it. Xiaohan was stunned. Soon after, Xiaohan grabbed the venerable spirit turtle skeleton and jumped into the crater. He bent down and looked at the words on the stone slab. With a single look, his scalp went numb. If thou can see these words, thou art a true gentleman. That earth vein spirit spring is actually the eroding bone water. Once a person falls into it, their flesh and bones will disappear in an instant. Even low-level true Qi realm martial artists will find it hard to escape. If thou ignore me and take a bath first, thou will die without a doubt. But if thou bury my skeleton first, not only will thou not die, thou will also obtain a great opportunity. Life and death are decided by a single thought. CK. Xiaohan broke out in a cold sweat. This venerable spirit turtle is far too scheming. What bullsh T earth vein spirit spring. So it's fake. It's actually a highly toxic medicinal liquid. Soak in it and you'll die instantly. Fortunately, I didn't jump into the lake in such a hurry. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how I died. Vicious, too vicious. The more Xiaohan thought about it, the more his heart palpitated. Life and death really were decided by a single thought. Soon after, Xiaohan shook his head and laughed. Forget it. This venerable spirit turtle is scheming all this just to find a fated person who can bury him. As expected of a great expert at level 5 true Qi. He's so scheming. He must have been a powerful figure when he was alive. But it makes sense. The world is dangerous. How can a person cultivate to such a high level if they don't have a burning point? Survival of the fittest. Those who are soft-hearted would have been killed long ago. Looks like I'll have to learn more from this venerable spirit turtle. Xiaohan stood in the deep pit for a long time. Various thoughts flooded his mind. Only after quite a while did he gently place the venerable spirit turtle's remains in the pit. Xiaohan jumped up and used the demon god's palm. Like grabbing tofu, he grabbed the soil on the ground and threw it into the pit. Not long after, Xiaohan had piled up a huge grave. He had finally buried the venerable spirit turtle. Xiaohan stood in front of the grave and put his palms together. He bowed deeply and said, Venerable Spirit Turtle Senior, this junior has already buried you according to your orders. This junior does not desire any rewards. I only hope that Senior can allow this junior to see the sky again. As soon as he finished speaking, I've finally been laid to rest. Thank you, fated person. You are a sincere gentleman. I am grateful beyond words. I've used the natal true chi I've condensed all my life, the spirit turtle true chi, to gift it to the fated person. However, with the passage of time, I wonder how much true chi remains. A desolate and ancient voice suddenly echoed through the dense forest of this underground world. The sound lingered in the air and was extremely strange. Xiao Han had never encountered such a strange thing. An ancient person who had died for God knows how many years could actually speak. Of course, Xiao Han understood as soon as he thought about it. Those must have been the venerable spirit turtle's last words before his death. At this moment, Xiao, 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 the rays of light that permeated the dense forest suddenly shot toward Xiao Han, and with lightning speed, they entered Xiao Han's true meridian. It was as if he had been enlightened. Soon the first true acupoint was filled up. The second true acupoint was also filled up in a short period of time. Then the third one. The fourth one. What? This true chi actually entered my true acupoint on its own. Xiao Han was surprised and delighted. I didn't do anything. This true chi seems to recognize me as its master. This is too magical, too magical. In the next moment he sat cross-legged and his mind sank into the pentagram true acupoints that were filled with true chi. Inside each of his true acupoints was a mysterious space that was about 3 meters in length, width, and height. The true chi that was injected was light blue. It was extremely pure and filled with an ancient aura. Dense runes, seal scripts, ancient bone inscriptions, and hieroglyphs could be seen. One spirit turtle after another swam in the true chi. Turtle? Alright. The true chi left behind by the venerable spirit turtle is called spirit turtle true chi. I wonder what use this spirit turtle true chi has. Xiao Han had gained something from nothing. Under the circumstances where he did not have to do anything, he had obtained true chi without any effort. This was almost like an infusion of power. It was as if he had picked up a treasure. He felt extremely carefree and indescribably wonderful. Soon, all 9 of Xiao Han's true acupoints were filled up. It was difficult for them to hold any more true chi. However, there wasn't much true chi left in this place. Only 3 or 4 wisps of true chi that were as thick as a thumb and several meters long had slipped through the net. As the true chi in this place flowed away, the plants and vegetation began to wither and wither. The spiritual chi declined, turning this place into a wasteland. The venerable spirit turtle was at the 5th layer of true chi and had opened 41 to 50 true acupoints. Logically speaking, the amount of true chi he had condensed in his entire life should have been more than this. Must have been too much time. Most of the true chi must have been destroyed, with only a tiny bit remaining. However, it did fill up all 9 of my true acupoints. That's enough. I can't take any more true chi with me. Currently, Xiao Han's entire body radiated with endless light and splendor. He glowed with jewels and gave off a noble bearing. All of a sudden, a thought was transmitted to Xiao Han's mind. 3 forms of the spirit turtle. Turtle breath. Spirit turtle shell. Spirit turtle slash. It was actually the true chi of the spirit turtle that pulsed in the true acupoints, delivering 3 forms of martial skills. To be continued. Chapter 84. Xiao Han had already obtained the venerable spirit turtle's true chi, so naturally, he had obtained the venerable spirit turtle's martial skill as well. Moreover, with the pure spirit turtle true chi as the foundation, Xiao Han could cultivate these 3 martial skills as easily as blowing off dust. He could even say that he did not need to cultivate them. He could just visualize them with the spirit turtle true chi and succeed immediately. Xiao Han activated his saber intent and cut off all the distracting thoughts in his mind. His eyes were empty and his mind was calm. He began to study the 3 forms of the spirit turtle. The first form, the turtle breathing form, was neither an offensive nor defensive martial skill. It was a special martial skill. Activating the turtle breathing form, one could block all the true chi in one's body and even seal the true acupoints. Not only that, if he exerted his full strength, even his breathing, heartbeat, and blood flow would be concealed, allowing him to enter a mysterious state of suspended animation. If he were to be placed in a metal box, thrown into the ocean and fished out for 10 days and 10 nights, he would still be alive. The second form, the spirit turtle shell. This form was the essence of the spirit turtle true chi, which was defense. The true chi took the form of a turtle shell, impervious to weapons, fire, and water. Moreover, the spirit turtle true chi was obviously strong in defense and weak in offense. The third form, the spirit turtle slash, was an offensive martial skill. With the sharp edge of the tortoise shell, a sudden horizontal slash could cut through mountains and rivers in an instant. Seriously speaking, the three forms of the spirit turtle might not be a very profound true chi martial skill, but for Xiao Han it was free, so there was nothing to be picky about. If worst came to worst, he could go back to the pure cloud sect and ask for some powerful true chi techniques. In other words, whether he was satisfied or not, it was a free lunch from the sky. What was there to complain about? He would just have to make do with it for now. Xiao Han had reached the true chi realm at such a young age. He was indeed a genius. The pure cloud sect would not ignore him. 2 hours later, Xiao Han opened his eyes. His pupils were like stars. Phew, I finally succeeded in visualizing the three forms of the spirit turtle. Xiao Han looked happy. The next moment, whoosh, 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 countless rays of divine light and precious light gushed out from Xiao Han's 9 true acupoints. Runes surrounded them and true chi enshrouded them. In the blink of an eye, the true chi took form and evolved into a spirit turtle. This true chi spirit turtle was about 4 or 5 mu in size, which was already huge. It raised its head and swung its tail in the air, its earthy yellow eyes flashing with intelligence. The tortoise shell was covered with ancient oracle bone inscriptions and hieroglyphs, giving it an ancient fragrance. Everything was stable. There was a kind of unbreakable and impregnable feeling to it. I can finally use my true chi to take form. Xiao Han was overjoyed. The spirit turtle is a little ugly. It's not as good as senior brother Fang's flying sword tiger. It's not as good as a serpent, and it's not even as good as a bear. But it was better than nothing. If I hadn't fallen into this place, I would still be a rookie without a true cave, constantly on guard to avoid being killed. This was a blessing in disguise. Alright, now think of a way to get out of this place and meet up with senior brother Fang on the surface. Suddenly, a hint of worry appeared in Xiao Han's eyes. I hope senior brother Fang is safe and doesn't get killed by Demon Emperor Qing Lin. Right now, Xiao Han was anxious to return to the Pure Rain sect. There was no other reason. The Pure Rain sect's outer sect ranking competition was imminent. There was only half a month left before it would be held as scheduled. Xiao Han had to rush back to participate in the competition. Although Xiao Han had already ascended to the True Chi realm, he was still an outer sect disciple and had the right to participate in the competition. Shui Jianfeng. You think you're a genius and look down on everyone. You have a grudge against me, Xiao Han. This time, the outer sect ranking competition will attract the attention of the world. I, Xiao Han, will beat you up in front of everyone. What kind of genius are you? You're only half-step True Chi. Now I can smash you to pieces with a single slap. Xiao Han could even imagine the look of despair on Shui Jianfeng's face when he suddenly found out that his opponent was a True Chi realm expert during the duel with Shui Jianfeng. Ha ha. Xiao Han could not help but laugh. The spirit tortoise's 3 styles, the tortoise breath style, can perfectly seal the true chi and true acupoints, pretending to be at the physical body realm. Ordinary people will definitely not be able to see through it. When I return to the Pure Rain sect, I will immediately seal my true acupoints and keep a low profile. When I face Shui Jianfeng in the outer sect ranking competition, I will forcefully open the seal. I, Xiao Han, will amaze the world with a single brilliant feat. After thinking for a while, Xiao Han prepared to ride the spirit tortoise and forcefully rush out of this place. All of a sudden. Wait. Xiao Han's heart tightened. That strange thing in my heart. At this time Xiao Han's mind was completely tensed up, his entire body showing great apprehension. That strange thing hibernating in my heart, just what is it? In the past I was at the physical body realm and could not see through it at all. Now that I've reached the True Chi realm, I can completely see the internal structure of my body, like looking at the lines on my palm. Cold sweat had already begun to seep out of Xiao Han's forehead. The major question that had been lingering in his heart had finally been resolved. But instead it caused his heart to palpitate. The reason was simple. Anyone who had a strange thing in their heart would be fine when they did not know about it, and they would be in a daze for a while. But when the answer was revealed, they would definitely be perplexed. Forget it, without the strange thing hibernating in my heart, I, Xiao Han, would be a living target for the rest of my life. I would have already been beaten to death by the inner Chi realm. This is my fate and fortune, what am I afraid of? Let's see. The blade intent destroyed all the negative emotions in Xiao Han's mind. Xiao Han calmed down. He sat cross-legged. He focused his mind and guarded his body. He looked into his body. Very quickly Xiao Han entered a mysterious state, as though he was on a mental journey. He saw the internal structure of his own body. Everything was revealed. White jade-like bones, flawless and without any impurities. Organs as hard as diamonds, glazed, pure and untainted blood. A torrential flow of air flowed continuously within his body, nourishing him. It was the heat flow of the indestructible golden body. He looked into his heart. At this moment Xiao Han's heart was beating vigorously, full of vitality. His consciousness seeped into his heart. Gradually, he saw it. He saw the strange thing that had been hibernating in his heart. It was an oval-shaped egg. It was actually an egg. This egg was as lustrous as warm jade, emitting wisps of extremely strong demonic aura, as well as an ancient aura that could dominate the 3,000 great worlds. On the surface of the eggshell, there were densely packed seals. Each seal contained a vast righteous aura that could swallow mountains and rivers. Xiao Han finally understood. There was extremely evil demonic aura seeping out of this egg, as though it was about to hatch some powerful demon, but it was sealed by a large number of seals, forcefully sealing it, preventing it from hatching successfully. However, 3 of the seals had been broken. These 3 broken seals contained traces of the Son of Heaven's divine fist, 7-fragment saber technique, and indestructible golden body. Without a doubt, the 3 broken seals were the initiators of the 3 unique skills that Xiao Han had repaired and perfected. Shockingly, Xiao Han could feel that there was a vague will rolling in each seal on the eggshell, but he couldn't understand what it meant at the moment. The extremely evil demon in the egg also seemed to have a consciousness that Xiao Han couldn't see through. Moreover, this egg and the countless seals seemed to have fused with Xiao Han's heart, as though they had become a part of Xiao Han's heart. It couldn't be separated unless the heart was shattered. Xiao Han stopped his inner vision. This inner vision consumed a lot of Xiao Han's mental strength, and his face was slightly pale. After resting for a moment, Xiao Han frowned and pondered. So, the strange thing in the heart is a demon egg. Moreover, this demon egg has signs of hatching, and the reason why it can't hatch is because there are countless seals inside. Although I don't fully understand all this, maybe when my cultivation level is higher, my vision and knowledge will broaden, and I will be able to see through the mysteries. But, the demon in the egg is definitely a high-level demon. Once the eggshell is broken, I'm afraid a peerless demon will be born. Is it a demon sovereign? Or a demon sovereign? Damn it, there's a demon egg in my heart. Xiao Han's heart palpitated and his hair stood on end. But there was nothing he could do. Xiao Han's cultivation level was too low, and he was helpless against this. He couldn't possibly let him destroy his heart with his own hands, right? After a while, Xiao Han made up his mind, and the invisible saber intent destroyed all his fear, and he was ready to risk it all. Forget it, I don't care so much anymore. Anyway, the seals on the surface of the eggshell can still hold on. Maybe in 8 to 10 years the demon egg won't hatch. What I need to do is to become stronger, so strong that I can personally deal with this pain. The fear in Xiao Han's eyes disappeared, and what was left was a rock-solid faith. No enemy, no difficulty can defeat me, Xiao Han. Alright, let's get out of here first. With a thought, a few divine lights rushed out from Xiao Han's true acupoints, and turned into turbulent air waves around Xiao Han's body, causing Xiao Han's body to fly into the sky. Xiao Han directly stepped onto the spirit turtle in the air. He stood on the turtle shell with both feet and smiled. Go up. Whoosh. The spirit turtle turned into a stream of light, and directly rushed up. The spirit turtle's speed was actually not slow. Of course, it couldn't be compared to Fong Ling's flying sword tiger, which could travel 200,000 li in the sun. But 50 to 60,000 li in the sun was not a problem. However, if it was in the water, the spirit turtle's speed would definitely be faster than the flying sword tiger. The spirit turtle soared into the sky, and soon, endless gravel appeared above Xiao Han's head. Go out. Divine light surged around Xiao Han, and true energy gushed out. With a boom, the spirit turtle drilled into the gravel and continued to drill upwards. The gravel in all directions was crushed by the true energy, and flowed away like water. But after a while, the spirit turtle carried Xiao Han, and suddenly rushed out of the sand, completely leaving the world of sand and returned to the vast desert. The sun hung high in the sky. Unknowingly, Xiao Han had already stayed in the world of sand for a day and a night. Finally, he could see the sky again. The air in the desert was distorted, and the gravel was so hot that it could instantly cook an egg. However, in such a harsh environment, Xiao Han felt like he had ascended to the world of immortals. He breathed in the scorching air to his heart's content, wiped the sweat on his forehead and laughed loudly. I Xiao Han am back again. As he laughed, the spirit turtle turned into rays of light, and entered Xiao Han's true acupoints. In the next moment, the true energy in Xiao Han's body was extinguished, and even his 9 true acupoints were sealed. As a result, Xiaohan looked ordinary, and there was not a single trace of true energy. The light and radiance on his body also dimmed. Now, he was completely in the state of vitality of the physical body realm. This turtle breathing technique is indeed magical. Xiaohan nodded repeatedly. I wonder if Senior Brother Fong can see through it? I'll find a place to wait for Senior Brother Fong. Xiaohan looked around, and the demon egg in his heart also sensed the surroundings in case the demon race appeared. Although this demon egg is nurturing a peerless evil creature, it is also under my control at this moment. Xiaohan suddenly felt a little dazed and confused. Chapter 85. Xiaohan sensed his surroundings vigilantly but did not find any dangerous aura. The yellow sand beneath his feet was rolling like a tide and hot air was rising. Xiaohan knew that there were many unknown legends hidden in this desert. The venerable spirit turtle's cave abode was probably just the tip of the iceberg. I wonder when Senior Brother Fong will come to find me. Xiaohan was slightly dazed. Then he stuck out his tongue and licked his dry lips. Why don't I take the initiative to look for some demon tribes and start a massacre? I'll sweep through everything and add fertilizer to the demon monarch's palm tattoo on my left arm. Now that Xiaohan had obtained true qi, his combat power was extraordinary. He might be able to fight against ordinary demon generals. As for the itinerant demons and demon soldiers, he would kill as many as they came. If he went all out, the demon emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm would definitely receive a huge amount of nourishment and awaken demon meridians one after another. It might even awaken the more noble and mysterious demon runes on the demon emperor's palm tattoo. However, Xiaohan was still slightly fearful. Now, when he closed his eyes, a pair of blood-red demon eyes appeared in his mind, emitting an extremely evil and monstrous demonic aura. That was the surveillance of Demon Emperor Qinglin. It could lock one's soul for thousands of miles. However, the feeling of being watched was not very strong. It was very faint and Xiaohan had to deliberately feel it to be able to detect it. Damn it, that Demon Emperor Qinglin is keeping a close eye on me now. It's the sealed demon egg in my heart that attracted it. Although there are countless opportunities in this desert, it's still not safe enough for me at the moment. Once Demon Emperor Qinglin chases after me, I'll instantly die without a burial place. Xiaohan felt a faint chill down his spine. Suddenly he only felt that it was frightening. What? Demon Emperor Qinglin's spying on me has yet to dissipate. In other words, he's still alive. Then Senior Brother Fong and the others. Just as Xiaohan was in a state of shock, a calm voice came from behind him. Xiaohan. It was Fong Ling's voice. Xiaohan turned around and saw Fong Ling, who was dressed in hemp clothes and had his hair tied up, carrying a sword on his back. At this moment, Fong Ling's aura was extremely weak and his face was slightly pale. Even the sharpness in his eyes was a little dull. He seemed to be seriously injured. Senior Apprentice Brother Fong. Xiaohan hurried forward to greet him. Suddenly, Xiaohan's footsteps stopped. He saw that within Fong Ling's body, there were 48 pentagram true meridians surging. Divine light flickered faintly, but most of them were dry and withered. After advancing to the Jinqi realm, not only could Xiaohan see through his own body, he could also see through the life force of others. Of course, it might be because Fong Ling was injured that Xiaohan could see through his cultivation so easily. TSK, Senior Brother Fong has opened 48 acupoints, and his cultivation is at Jinqi realm level 5, close to level 6. He was on par with the venerable spirit turtle. Of course, realms are realms and battle prowess is battle prowess. The two cannot be confused. Xiaohan nodded to himself. At the same time, Fong Ling's eyes were filled with shock. Xiaohan, what's going on with you? You have clearly opened your Jinqi acupoints and reached Jinqi realm in a single bound. I saw it with my own eyes. But why can't I sense your true acupoint? It's like a pool of stagnant water. Did something strange happen to your body? I used the tortoise breathing technique to conceal all the true qi in my body and closed my acupoints tightly. It's as if I'm secluding myself and not making any progress. I actually managed to fool even Senior Brother Fong. Xiaohan was slightly delighted. Soon after, Xiaohan smiled non-committally and changed the topic. Senior Brother Fong, you're injured? Has Demon Emperor Qinglin been killed? What about the other fiends? Xiaohan was actually very clear that Demon Emperor Qinglin was still alive. A hint of bitterness flashed across Fong Ling's eyes as he shook his head slightly. Demon Emperor Qinglin truly lives up to his name as a mighty figure of the demon race. He possesses world-shocking battle prowess and boundless demonic techniques. That apocalyptic demon saber is too demonic. When the saber light flashed, the bewitching saber chi almost sucked people in. Fang Ling's face was filled with shock. This time, if it wasn't for the great Sun Emperor joining the encirclement, all of us would have died in battle. Even so, 5 fiends were killed, and both Great Sun Emperor and Demon Emperor Qinglin were injured. I was also severely injured by a saber chi. Demon Emperor Qinglin has already escaped, so we should hurry up and leave the Western region desert. Right now, I don't even have a tenth of my battle prowess, and all the true energy in my body is exhausted. If I encounter a slightly more powerful demon general, I will definitely not be able to resist. Fang Ling frowned and said in a low voice. However, my true energy is almost dried up, and I can't transform into the flying sword tiger beast. I have to think of another way to leave the western region. Senior brother Fang, if you don't mind? Xiao Han said hesitantly. I can give you a ride. In the next moment, whoosh, 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 rays of divine light and haze surged out from the 9 true acupoints on Xiao Han's body. It was a spectacular sight. The strong true energy fluctuations caused the air around Xiao Han to be blown out with waves of gentle ripples. Looking at Xiao Han, his entire body was bathed in the treasure light, overflowing with color. His eyes were like stars, his hair fluttered in the wind, and his clothes fluttered. His temperament changed from mediocre to gorgeous. This. Fang Ling was completely moved. His throat gurgled and his eyes widened, unable to say a word. Xiao Han immediately unsealed the 9 true acupoints that were sealed, and abundant true energy gushed out. Not long after, the true energy took form, and an enormous spirit turtle floated in the air. Its entire body was shining brightly, and under the scorching sun, it glowed with a bronze color. This true energy is ancient and simple, and it is extremely pure. It must be the true energy left behind by some ancient person. It can't be cultivated by you, Xiao Han. Fang Ling finally said loudly. Xiao Han, what fortuitous encounter did you have? You even fooled me by sealing the true acupoints just now. Fang Ling's eyes focused as he carefully looked at Xiao Han. Immediately after, he was so shocked that he couldn't close his mouth. Xiao Han, you actually opened 9 true acupoints. You just reached the true energy realm and you broke through 9 true acupoints in one go. You're so young, but you're already so talented. Xiao Han shocked Fang Ling again and again. It caused this peerless swordsman who possessed sword intent to completely lose his composure. Senior brother Fang, let's go. While we were on our way, I told senior brother Fang everything that had happened. Xiao Han chuckled. All right. Fang Ling used his sword intent to cut off the shock in his mind. The divine light flashed on the 2 of them, and a mysterious force lifted the 2 of them into the air and onto the turtle's back. Let's go. Return to the southern region. The true energy spirit turtle turned into a ray of light, broke through the air and returned in the direction of the southern region. Xiao Han and Fang Ling sat cross-legged on the wide turtle's back, and the true energy around their bodies dispersed the heavenly wind and airflow. Xiao Han told Fang Ling about being surrounded by the demon army, being mysteriously trapped in the underground world, the venerable spirit turtle's cave, and how he was bestowed with cultivation. Of course, Xiao Han would never tell anyone about the secret of the demon egg in his heart, even if he was beaten to death. I didn't think that you, Xiao Han, would actually have such luck. Fang Ling sighed repeatedly after hearing everything. In the cultivation of the martial Tao, talent is important, but hard work is also indispensable. However, the most important thing will always be luck. Some martial artists are geniuses, but they don't have luck in their entire lives, and in the end they will live a mediocre life. Xiao Han, you really are blessed with luck. You obtained the true energy bestowment of an ancient person for nothing. You've picked up a great bargain. Moreover, the spirit turtle's true energy is extremely defensive. The turtle breathing form is a unique cultivation method. It can conceal true energy, seal true acupoints, and deceive the heavens. Is powerful, very powerful. He. Hearing Fang Ling's praise, Xiao Han also felt rather complacent and could not help but say, Senior brother Fang, I really am lucky. If I had gone to soak in the earth vein spirit spring first, my soul would have flown away a long time ago. Fang Ling snorted coldly. That venerable spirit turtle is as crafty as a ghost. Xiao Han, you really are lucky. If you refined true energy and were forcefully bestowed with the spirit turtle's true energy, you would have died a long time ago. When foreign true energy collides in true acupoints, your body will most likely explode. Xiao Han's heart trembled. Senior brother Fang, what do you mean? Could it be that the venerable spirit turtle left his true energy behind to harm others? Xiao Han, normally speaking, as long as you've refined one type of true energy in your true acupoints, you can't cultivate another type of true energy with completely different characteristics recklessly. Otherwise, when the two types of true energy collide in the true acupoints, it would be difficult for your body not to explode. Do you think that the venerable spirit turtle is willing to lose his true energy to someone he doesn't care about after his death? Xiao Han, you've just reached true energy realm, so your true acupoints are empty. That's why you didn't fall for it and instead benefited from it. Fang Ling's lips curled into a cold smile. The martial world is dangerous. Xiao Han broke out in a cold sweat. After a while, Xiao Han finally spoke. Senior brother Fang, the venerable spirit turtle, was a great expert at the 5th level of true energy when he was alive. He's no small matter. I'm afraid he's a renowned figure in the Western region. In my opinion, he's just a regular independent cultivator. What, dominating the Western region? That's just boasting. Senior brother Fang said indifferently with some disdain. Below the immortals is the fiend hero, and below the fiend hero are the living beings. Below the immortals is the demon hero, and below the demon hero are all living beings. Xiao Han's heart shook. Senior brother Fang, what does that mean? A regular true energy realm is nothing special. If they're really powerful, they're all demon heroes. Xiao Han, remember, demon heroes are the strongest in the true energy realm. They're chosen through a trial with a slim chance of survival. Killing a regular true energy realm is as easy as blowing away dust. However, Xiao Han, your cultivation is still a little weak, so you don't need to know too much. When you're stronger, you might be qualified to participate in the demon hero selection. Yes. Xiao Han nodded his head heavily. He kept muttering to himself. Below the immortals is the demon hero, and below the demon hero are all living beings. It sounds really powerful. In the next few days, Fang Ling taught Xiao Han some of the most basic methods of using true qi. For example, using true energy to form hands. As for how to use true energy to manifest the Son of Heaven's divine fist and blade Dao, Xiao Han would have to return to the Pure Cloud sect and merge them in seclusion. The day before returning to the sect. Senior brother Fang, we've already left the northern region of the ancient desolation and returned to the southern region. Tomorrow morning we can return to the Pure Cloud sect. Xiao Han said excitedly. Fang Ling nodded his head. Xiao Han licked his lips. Senior brother Fang, when we return to the sect, I'm going to use the turtle breathing style to seal my true acupoints so that I won't be exposed. My true energy realm cultivation. I hope senior brother Fang can hide it for me. Oh. Fang Ling looked up at Xiao Han and smiled lightly. You want to amaze the world? Yes. Amaze the world. Xiao Han nodded his head heavily. Don't worry. When I return, I'll immediately go into seclusion to heal my injuries. I won't tell anyone, including the higher-ups of the sect. Early the next morning, the true energy spirit turtle finally flew to the sky above the Pure Cloud mountain range. Compared to the scorching heat of the western region, the southern region had already entered the early winter. The wind was biting cold and it was snowing heavily. The entire Pure Cloud mountain range was covered in silver. Faint immortal qi permeated the mountain range, contrasting with the heavy snow. Ah! Xiao Han am finally back. Ah! Xiao Han laughed heartily. There were only 3 days left before the Pure Cloud sect's annual Outer Disciple ranking competition. Many of the Outer Disciples who had been training in the Jianghu had returned to the sect just like Xiao Han. All of them were rubbing their palms together. They wanted to make a name for themselves in the Outer Disciple ranking competition. Chapter 86. The true Qi spirit tortoise silently landed on a quiet hill outside the mountain range. In the next moment, the spirit tortoise disintegrated into rays of ancient light and was absorbed into Xiao Han's 9 true Qi. Then Xiao Han activated the spirit tortoise style and completely sealed the 9 true Qi. It was as still as stagnant water. Even the rays of light that were as bright as the stars in his eyes were magically sealed. Fang Ling could not see any flaws at all and was amazed at the sight. Now Xiao Han was just a physical body realm martial artist at a glance. There was nothing special about him. Then the two went their separate ways. Xiao Han leisurely wandered back to the outer sect peak where he was at. This time he was in the limelight at the Xiao clan's meeting, but he also encountered the mysterious North Profound Demon Emperor and was almost killed by 3 true Qi realm experts. Then he risked his life and took the 7 Sun Death Wishing Pill, to survive in the midst of death and advance to the true Qi realm. He fled to the western desert and had a fortuitous encounter. All kinds of trials and transformations, lingering between life and death. Now that he had safely returned to the sect, Xiaohan also felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity as if it was a lifetime ago. Thus, when Xiaohan saw the outer sect disciples walking back and forth on the street, he took the initiative to smile and greet them politely. This made all the outer sect disciples feel flattered. "Senior brother Xiaohan, you're back? That's great. There are 3 more days and it's this year's outer sect ranking competition. Our peak is relying on senior brother Xiaohan to support us." That's right, that's right. A few days ago the 3 leaders kept talking about senior brother Xiaohan. Senior brother Xiaohan is now the main character of our peak, the spiritual leader. Every month, the basic benefits have increased from 100 true martial coins to 500 true martial coins. Senior brother Xiaohan, you can do it. This time's outer sect ranking competition, you will definitely be in the top 3. A pink and cute female outer sect disciple said with a blushing face. As she spoke, she secretly glanced at Xiaohan with her phoenix eyes. She was extremely embarrassed. Xiaohan was now supported by all the disciples of this peak. Xiaohan strolled on the snow-covered long street for a while before returning to his courtyard. As soon as he opened the courtyard door, he saw a person sweeping the snow in the courtyard. Who else could it be but Acho? Xiaohan's heart was filled with the feeling of reuniting with a long-lost friendship. "Senior brother Acho, I'm back." Acho hurriedly put down his broom and rushed over to give Xiaohan a bear hug. "Xiaohan, you're finally back. It's great that I'm still in time for the outer disciple ranking competition." The 2 of them entered the house one after another. Acho boiled water and brewed tea. Then they started chatting while sipping their tea. Xiaohan observed Acho's life force state and knew that Acho's marrow refinement had already reached a certain level. His meridians were long and his breathing was heavy and powerful. Furthermore, wood rings appeared in Acho's pupils. It was obvious that he had touched upon the essence of the withered wood treasure record. "Senior brother Acho, you have improved a lot during this period of time. 1,000 li in a day. I think, in this year's outer sect ranking competition, senior brother Acho will definitely become a dark horse." Xiaohan was extremely gratified. Acho rubbed his hands, his expression was also extremely excited. "Xiaohan, maybe it's because of the previous clan meeting your words and actions motivated me. Furthermore, those 3 true Qi realm experts threatened to massacre the entire city. That feeling of fear and despair caused my spirit to undergo some transformations. All in all, I can feel my improvement. Of course, I don't dare to have extravagant hopes of becoming a dark horse. I just hope that I won't be eliminated in the first round." "Alright, Xiaohan, after we parted at Blazing Flame City, where did you and direct disciple Fang go? During this period of time, your martial cultivation must have improved by quite a bit?" "It's just ordinary, I just followed senior brother Fang to wander around and broaden my horizons." Xiaohan blew on a tea leaf in his cup. He didn't dare to tell Acho that he had already stepped into the true Qi realm. He reckoned that Acho would faint on the spot. "Xiaohan, in short, in this year's outer sect ranking competition, your name will definitely spread throughout the sect and your prestige will spread. The only one who can compete with you is Shui Jianfeng." Acho lowered his voice and whispered. "Alright, Xiaohan, you have to be careful. I heard that Shui Jianfeng and a few direct disciples went to the western region to train and return with great rewards. I heard that Shui Jianfeng is already infinitely close to the true Qi realm. Just half a step away, he can reach the heavens in a single step and defy the heavens. Furthermore, he found an ancient sword in the ruins of an ancient country in the western region. It's a precious weapon, imbued with true Qi, entwined with a turtle and snake, able to cut through anything." "Ah, infinitely close to the true Qi realm?" Xiaohan casually drank a mouthful of tea, his face full of sneer and disdain. "Senior brother Acho, there are countless martial artists that infinitely close to the true Qi realm, but in the end they didn't cross it. This half a step is not so easy to cross. In the middle is a heavenly moat. As for precious weapons and the like, true experts will not rely on external forces. Strength comes from one's own strength, not relying on any treasures." An indescribable confidence burst out from Xiaohan's eyes. Acho was stunned at the sight. Shui Jianfeng's mountain peak. Shui Jianfeng's side courtyard. At this moment, Shui Jianfeng stood proudly with his hands clasped behind his back. His spirit and aura were becoming more and more detached. Although it was winter, he only wore a thin long gown. His skin was crystal clear, flickering with a dazzling luster. His jet-black long hair was parted down the middle, hanging on both sides of his shoulders. His eyes were in high spirits, like flashes of lightning, concealing a sword intent and pride that could topple a city. Towering like an abyss. It made people's hearts palpitate. On his back was an unsophisticated sheathed longsword. A ray of light that was as thick as a thumb and about 3 meters long was constantly circulating, emitting a draconic hum. The snowflakes that were falling from above were extinguished by the formless sword intent when they were a few feet away from Xue Jianfeng, causing Xue Jianfeng's entire body to be clean, without a speck of dust. He had a feeling that he was about to achieve Dao and ascend. The 4 outer sect disciples stood at the side with their hands hanging down with trembling legs. They deeply buried their heads and didn't dare to raise their heads. Their breathing was rapid as they were oppressed by Xue Jianfeng's aura. Senior brother. 3 junior brothers were sent by you to spy on Xiaohan. In the end, none of them came back. As for Xiaohan, he swaggered back from his secluded cultivation in the deep mountains and old forests. With one move he crippled Ling Feiyu of their mountain peak, and he also wiped out Gongsun Kang's mountain peak. Gongsun Kang Jingshan, and the others all died without leaving a corpse. Senior brother? I'm afraid that the 3 junior brothers who were spying on Xiaohan have already been killed. The 4 outer sect disciples reported while trembling with fear. Xue Jianfeng let out a cold snort, causing the surrounding air to tremble. The snowflakes that filled the sky seemed to be affected by Xue Jianfeng's anger, shattering into powder and scattering all over the sky. A living target, a lowly dog-like person. Just because he had a fortuitous encounter, he doesn't know his own capabilities anymore. He actually dared to provoke me again and again. He even dared to kill my people. He's courting death. He probably thinks that in this year's outer sect ranking competition, he can slightly contend against me. What a huge joke. As of now, my spirit has already been sharpened to the point of sharpness. Indistinctly, I can feel the barrier of eternal separation between man and heaven. Within 2 years I will definitely advance to the realm of true Qi. I will ascend to the heavens in a single step. Xue Jianfeng said proudly. The treasured sword on his back let out a cheerful dragon roar, resonating with him and bringing out the best in each other. Forget it, the evil that he brought upon himself is the hardest to bear. In a few days' time in the outer sect ranking competition, this seat will personally slaughter him. A violent killing intent swept out from Xue Jianfeng's eyes. Yes, senior brother is invincible. Senior brother is invincible. The 4 outer sect disciples finally all knelt down, trembling non-stop. Inner sect mountain range. Elder courtyard. In a warm and fragrant room, a young man sat on a chair made of sour twig wood and sipped tea. This man looked to be around 25 or 26 years old. His appearance was very beautiful and his eyes were pure black like an endless abyss. If one looked at them for a while longer, they would have the illusion that they were going to be sucked in. His skin wasn't pure snow white, but it was gentle and exquisite like jade, but warmer and softer than jade. There was a faint haze and light flowing around his body, round and smooth like jade. He was at the true Qi realm. A few elders whose fleshly bodies had reached the pinnacle of the blood transformation realm, but were unable to covet the true Qi realm for their entire lives, were carefully serving him at the side. This year's outer sect ranking competition will be hosted by your inner sect elder courtyard. That man put down the teacup and said unhurriedly. He had an imposing manner as if he was in control of everything. Yes, it must be done in an orderly manner. When the time comes, many true disciples will personally come to watch the competition. There must be no chaos. Yes, young Master Ziyu, don't worry. Our inner sect elder courtyard has consecutively hosted many outer sect ranking competitions. We are very experienced, there won't be any mistakes. One of the elders hurriedly said. Yes. The young man smiled faintly. His temperament was like a high mountain and flowing water, free and unrestrained. This year's outer sect ranking competition has generous rewards. The outer sect disciples are definitely rubbing their palms together, unable to hold back and wanting to fight it out on the stage. What do you think of this year? Young Master Ziyu, this year's ranking, especially the top 3, shouldn't be too different from last year. First place is 99% certain to be in Xue Jianfeng's bag. Xue Jianfeng is a genius that only appears once in 100 years. An elder sighed. This kind of beauty will enter the true Qi realm sooner or later. At most it will take 2 or 3 years. This seat admires this child Xue Jianfeng very much. He even has a shadow of this seat when I was young. His arrogance and sharpness are things that this seat admires. The young man nodded slightly. A few elders exchanged ruminating glances. Immediately, one of them said in a low voice. Young Master Ziyu. Some time ago, a demon-like youth appeared in the outer sect. His name is Xiaohan. This child is also a genius. He single-handedly leveled an outer sect mountain peak. Now he is in the limelight and will become the biggest dark horse in this year's outer sect ranking competition. If we were to talk about this year's outer sect ranking competition's variables, I'm afraid it would be Xiaohan. However, young Master Ziyu, please rest assured. No matter how demon-like Xiaohan is, his foundation and innate talent are still lacking. He will not be a threat to Xue Jianfeng's position. But Xiaohan and Xue Jianfeng seem to have some personal grudges. Previously, when Xue Jianfeng was engaged to an outer sect female disciple of the Medicine King Valley, Xiaohan actually shouted at Xue Jianfeng in front of him. Ha! The young man's eyebrows twitched, a displeased look brewing in his eyes. Young Master Ziyu, we have already thoroughly investigated. It turns out that when Xiaohan was a live target, he was once beaten up by Xue Jianfeng, who was still a disciple at that time. He vomited 3 liters of blood and almost died. This year's champion will definitely be Xue Jianfeng. He deserves the title. Whatever dog or cat, don't come and pester endlessly. The young man said with slight anger. You guys go and knock on the outer sect leader of Xiaohan's mountain peak. Even if Xiaohan is a genius, he still needs to abide by the rules. Don't be a noisy guest and steal the spotlight. These 2 days Xiaohan slept in his courtyard. When it was time to eat, he would go to the canteen with Acho. He also did not cultivate. He completely relaxed and recuperated. There was still 1 day before the outer sect ranking competition. Xiaohan was called to the White Jade Plaza by the 3 leaders. In the White Jade Plaza. 3 leaders, it's been a long time. Xiaohan said with a smile. Xiaohan, how was your training during this period of time? The 3 leaders also laughed and casually chatted with Xiaohan. So, Xiaohan did not say much. Suddenly, the eyes of the 3 leaders revealed a deep grievance and awkwardness. 3 leaders, what's wrong with you? Xiaohan immediately asked. Xiaohan, we all know that you are extremely talented in the martial Dao. You improve at lightning speed, almost monstrous. You are also a natural-born bladesman. You are extremely talented. We all have high hopes for your performance in this year's outer sect ranking competition. However, Xue Jianfeng also improved a lot. He vaguely had the feeling of stepping into the true Qi realm. His every action was a cut above others. Xiaohan, what we mean is that if you want to compete with Xue Jianfeng for the first place, you still lack some foundation. Xiaohan, why don't you fight for the top 3 in this year's outer sect ranking competition? Anyway, after Xue Jianfeng becomes the outer sect champion, he will immediately be promoted to the inner sect. Next year's outer sect ranking competition will definitely be yours. Xiaohan immediately sensed that the words of the 3 chiefs were implying something, and they did not mean what they said. Therefore he immediately said calmly. 3 leaders, don't you want disciple Xiaohan to fight for the first place for our mountain peak? The 3 leaders looked at each other with complicated expressions on their faces. Suddenly one of the leaders blurted out. Xiaohan, to be honest, the inner sect elders asked us to inform you that the first place of the outer sect this year belongs to Xue Jianfeng. Xiaohan, let me tell you, Xue Jianfeng has curried favor with a few true disciples. No matter. Xiaohan waved his hand. Disciple understands. Please be at ease, this disciple will definitely not make things difficult for the 3 masters. So what if he curried favor with true disciples? I'm already in the true Qi realm and have opened 9 true Qi realms. In the entire Fire Beacon Empire, I am probably as rare as a phoenix feather or a unicorn horn. Xue Jianfeng, what do you have to fight me? I want to see if the sect values you, a half-step true Qi realm, or me, a genuine true Qi realm. Xiaohan sneered and left the mountain peak. The next day, early morning. Dong, 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 from the mountains of the inner sect of the sect, a long and deep morning bell rang. This was to summon all the outer sect disciples to enter the inner sect mountains. Outer sect ranking competition. Begin. Chapter 87. As the morning bell rang in the inner sect mountains, the Pure Rain sect's annual outer sect disciple ranking competition finally began. Numerous outer court disciples that had the ambition to make a name for themselves in the outer court ranking competition this time and become eminent were already waiting with their weapons on their backs, and they itched to fight their opponents, causing them to wish for nothing more than to immediately stand on the arena and fight their opponents. They heard that the champion of this outer sect ranking competition would be rewarded handsomely. There was news that it would be a top-grade sacred medicine and a true Qi cultivation method. A true chi cultivation method was definitely not a trivial treasure. Compared to the martial skill secret manuals of a physical body realm martial artist, it was more than 100 levels higher. Not to mention the champion, even the top 3 and top 10 would be rewarded handsomely. Moreover, during the competition, the inner sect disciples and inner sect elders would all be present. There would also be a portion of true chi realm experts and direct disciples. If there was an outstanding outer sect disciple, they would definitely be recruited and won over. At this moment, the 10 outer sect peaks leaders all brought their disciples and entered the inner sect peak. Xiaohan's peak. The 3 leaders took the lead, and behind them were thousands of outer sect disciples. Xiaohan naturally walked at the front, with the air of a leading sheep. Cho basked in the limelight and walked beside Xiaohan, chatting with Xiaohan. This peak's other prodigy besides Ling Feiyu, Meng Ran, walked behind Xiaohan, looking at Xiaohan's back with a venomous gaze. But he did not dare to be ostentatious, much less roar. Ever since Meng Ran returned to the peak, he had heard of Xiaohan's fierce name many times. Moreover, he crippled Ling Feiyu with one move, ruthless and tyrannical, causing Meng Ran to be dumbfounded. Xiaohan, yesterday I heard that the reward for the champion of this outer sect ranking competition is not only a treasure medicine to increase the probability of breaking through to the true chi realm, but also a true chi secret manual. With these 2 rewards, advancing to Jinchi realm would be a matter of time before he was able to do so. This is a great opportunity. Xiaohan, try your best to be first. If you reach the true chi realm, I will be proud. In the future, in the outer sect's 10 peaks, no one will dare to bully me, hee. Cho laughed softly. Senior brother Cho, don't worry. I will definitely be the champion in this competition. There is no doubt about this. Those who stand in my way will all be trampled to death. Xiaohan said domineeringly. When the 3 masters heard Xiaohan's bold words, they felt gratified, but also a little uneasy. In the mountains of the inner sect. Battle Peak. The peak of Battle Peak was extremely vast, occupying an area of more than a few hundred acres. In the middle, there was a lotus platform that was made up of many arenas. It was 12 stories high. On the highest level, there was an arena that stood tall like a lone mountain, giving off a feeling of being a crane among chickens. There were 2 arenas on the next level. There were 3 arenas on the next level. The lotus platform was surrounded by seats. Among them, there were seats for the 10 peaks of the outer sanctum, the participants, the inner sanctum disciples, and the inner sanctum elders. There was also a seating area with only a dozen or so seats, covered with expensive beast skins. There were also a few specially selected female disciples serving tea and playing music to serve them. However, the 10 or so seats were still empty, not a single person could be seen. A flood of people rushed into the peak and found their own seats. Although there were many people, it was not noisy. Everyone was solemn and followed the rules, not daring to speak loudly. Xiaohan's peak was also in position, entering a square formation. The 3 managers took out a lot of number tags from their storage rings and distributed them to the disciples who were going to take part in the competition. Meng Ran, this is your number plate. Cho, take your number plate. Cho, this is your first time participating in the outer sect competition. I wish you good luck. Don't meet a strong opponent in the first round. Zhang Xiaohua, your number plate. Xiaohan, your number plate. Xiaohan received a palm-sized square plate from one of the masters. It was made of copper with a number carved on it. 821, N. Xiaohan nodded to the 3 masters. Oh right, Xiaohan, you're so young but you're already a genius. You've only entered the outer sect for a year, and you've already achieved amazing martial achievements. However, there's always someone stronger than you. If you meet an opponent who can defeat you, you can choose to admit defeat. That's not embarrassing. One of the masters cautiously reminded. Disciple understands. Xiaohan smiled. After receiving their number plates, Xiaohan and the hundreds of disciples participating in the competition moved to the participants' seats. They all sat down and waited for the competition to begin. Cho sat at the seat beside Xiaohan. Xiaohan's face was expressionless. His true chi was sealed tightly, his eyes were plain and unaffected. He even blocked the blade chi. I tried it last night. This turtle breathing stance can not only seal the true chi and true chi, it can even seal the internal organs and blood vessels. The only thing it cannot seal is my heartbeat. Because there's a demon egg in my heart, the extremely evil and strong demon chi seeps out. The turtle breathing stance cannot seal it. Xiaohan thought. Xiaohan, I'm so nervous. So nervous. It's my first time participating in the competition, and I've always been a kind person with a very good temper. I rarely fight with others. I'm really nervous right now, Acho said in a low voice, feeling uneasy. Senior Acho, don't be nervous. Once you're on the stage, you can use the wooden dragon pillar to attack from afar. If the opponent wants to fight you in close combat, use the withered wood palm, Xiaohan advised. At this time, the participants from the other peaks also rushed into the participants' seats. Among the contestants, there were a few who were half a step into true qi. However, Xiaohan didn't even glance at them. After a while, Shui Jianfeng has appeared. Look, it's Senior Shui Jianfeng. Last year's champion. So handsome. So cool. A group of female disciples muttered as if they were infatuated. Only to see Shui Jianfeng in a white robe with a treasured sword on his back. He walked into the participants' seats with a majestic gait. Behind him was a large group of outer sect disciples. All of them had a face of worship. His powerful aura swept through the participants' seats, causing many participants to feel as if there was a thorn in their backs. Those with lower cultivation had cold sweat on their foreheads and their faces turned green. Shui Jianfeng casually sat down. His face was full of sneers and disdain. His gaze turned and looked deeply at Xiaohan. So, Xiaohan. Shui Jianfeng is here, such a strong aura. Acho stuttered in Xiaohan's ear. Ha. Xiaohan smiled and did not look at Shui Jianfeng. But he could keenly sense that Shui Jianfeng was observing him. Xiaohan felt Shui Jianfeng's gaze and also felt the killing intent and contempt in this gaze. Suddenly, an outer sect disciple beside Shui Jianfeng glared angrily and growled, Xiaohan. What did you do to junior brother Lin He and Murong? How dare you? How dare you attack the disciples of our outer sect's first peak? A heinous crime. Whose dog is barking here because they didn't look after it properly? Get lost. All of a sudden Xiaohan turned his gaze over, his eyes bursting with a blade light that was as sharp as lightning, a blade light that could take one's soul away. The outer sect disciple who scolded Xiaohan felt as if he was struck by lightning. His face instantly turned pale and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He knelt on the ground and trembled uncontrollably. What? Injuring someone with just a gaze? This is too strong. It's Xiaohan. This guy single-handedly raised an entire outer sect mountain peak, causing the third-ranked outer sect mountain peak to wither and decline in a short period of time. He's too powerful. He's truly a ferocious person. He doesn't even give senior brother Shui Jianfeng face. They have shed all pretenses of cordiality. This time, the two of them have shed all pretenses of cordiality. I'm afraid that if we meet on the stage it will be a fight to the death. There will be no mercy. The participants' seating area was filled with discussions. Shui Jianfeng's expression changed, but he quickly calmed down and looked at Xiaohan with a pitiful gaze. Not bad. In such a short time he has already begun to change his blood. Furthermore, there is a blade light in his eyes. It seems that his blade cultivation is not bad. He has the capital to be arrogant. If he doesn't die prematurely, he might be able to obtain the qualifications to enter the Supreme True Qi realm in another 8 to 10 years. But next year and today will be your death sentence. Xiaohan, you are courting death. He. Xiaohan laughed and did not say anything else. He turned his face away. True Qi realm? You think you have the qualifications to judge the True Qi realm? I'm laughing my head off. Over at the inner sect disciples' seating area, there were many half-step True Qi experts who shifted their attention to the participants' seating area. Naturally, Shui Jianfeng and Xiaohan became the focus of their discussion. Shui Jianfeng's aura is becoming sharper and sharper. It seems that his spirit has been tempered to the point where it can cut through hair with a single blow. Breaking through to the True Qi realm is a done deal. It has been a long time since our Pure Cloud sect had a youth at the True Qi realm. There is no doubt that this Shui Jianfeng has reached the True Qi realm. However, I wonder if he has the possibility of representing our Pure Cloud sect to participate in the Devil Hero selection. The Devil Hero selection is a narrow escape. It all depends on whether Shui Jianfeng dares to participate. Our Pure Cloud sect has been established for tens of thousands of years. We have a deep foundation and many talents. How many Devil Heroes have we produced so far? Only a handful. You can't say that. According to historical records, our Pure Cloud sect was once prosperous. There was a period of time when we produced many Devil Heroes. However, they died in the war with the demon race. Alright, let's go off topic. It's just an outer sect ranking competition and you guys are talking about Devil Heroes. Shui Jianfeng is a genius, but his current foundation is far from being able to compare to Devil Heroes. It's a world of difference. We can discuss this again when he reaches the true Qi realm. As for that Xiao Han, he's a hidden talent. However, there can't be two tigers on one mountain. He's just unlucky. So, we inner sect disciples need to cultivate well too. We've been stuck at half-step true Qi for so long. We're just one step away. Everyone needs to work hard to improve. Right when the inner court disciples were discussing without end, shockingly numerous rays of light and auspicious clouds descended from the sky. Endless streams of air surged and transformed into Qi dragons, Qi tigers, Qi cranes, Qi apes. All of them were vivid and lifelike. Heavenly flowers fell. Amidst the red light, more than 10 extraordinary figures appeared. There were both men and women among them. However, they didn't look too old. They all had the appearance of teenagers. In terms of temperament, some were as deep as an ancient well, some as tyrannical as a god, some as calm as the clouds and wind, and some disdainfully looking down on the world. Light surged from each of their bodies, forming a precious glow. The moment these people appeared, they walked towards the dozens of seats that were made of beast skin and served by beauties. True Qi realm. They were the direct disciples of Pure Cloud sect. Welcome, true disciples. A few inner court elders stood up one after another, bowed and paid their respects. For a moment, the tens of thousands of people gathered on the mountain peak all stood up and sang in unison. Welcome, true disciples. In the contestants' seats, all the contestants, including the arrogant Xue Jianfeng, stood up and bowed as well. Their eyes were filled with respect and worship as they shouted loudly. Welcome, true Qi realm experts. Xiao Han pretended to stand up as well. His gaze swept over, but he didn't see Senior Brother Fang present. He thought to himself, Senior Brother Fang didn't come? Looks like he's in closed-door cultivation to recuperate. All the true Qi realm experts sat down. A young man in a brocade robe with eyes as deep as the abyss and skin as warm as jade slowly took a cup of tea from the hands of an inner court girl and said indifferently, "You may begin." This man was young Master Ziyu, who looked highly upon Xue Jianfeng and wanted Xue Jianfeng to take first place. A few inner court elders stood up together and bowed. Yes, true disciples. Then this year's outer court disciple ranking competition will begin. RS. Chapter 88. Dong. A long and sacred bell rang. The lingering sound made people feel refreshed and full of fighting spirit. Fellow outer sect geniuses. One of the inner sect elders was a person of virtue and prestige. His cultivation base was at the peak of the blood transformation realm. Just a casual sentence from him would cause his voice to ring out like a great bell, echoing dozens of miles. It was extremely shocking. The scene suddenly became quiet and a pin drop could be heard. The annual outer sect ranking competition has begun. I don't want to say any more nonsense. You outer sect geniuses are the pillars and cornerstones of my sect. Most likely, in the future there will be a supreme true Qi realm among you. From then on, you will become the main character of the sect. In the future war with the demon race, you will also shine and establish an indelible contribution. Then, the rewards of this outer sect ranking competition. As he spoke, the inner sect elder looked towards the seats of the true disciples. That young Master Ziyu whispered to a white-clothed young man beside him. Senior brother, please show us the rewards. The white-clothed man's appearance was ordinary. His body was shrouded in a faint glow, but his face was sickly. His face was pale and he kept coughing as if he was suffering from a serious illness. But in his eyes, there would occasionally be a light like that of a primordial ferocious bird. More than 10 true disciples were very respectful towards this sickly white-clothed man. Cough cough. The white-clothed man smiled slightly. Good, the rewards will be here. I have to say the rewards of this outer sect disciple ranking competition are the most generous in all the years. As he spoke, swish 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 swish, the white-clothed man coughed and flicked his fingers. Rays of divine light shot into the air. Treasures appeared one after another. There was the precious blood of strange beasts needed by blood transformation realm martial artists. There was the support of true Qi. There were weapons that glittered with treasure light. There were precious medicines that could heal wounds and almost bring the dead back to life. There were martial skill secret manuals. However, the most dazzling were the 2 treasures that floated at the highest point in the air. Among them, there was a golden medicinal pill that was wrapped in divine light. It was the size of a peanut and emitted a surging vitality like the Yangtze River, as well as a mysterious luxury. It gave off a feeling of ascension. The other treasure was even more eye-catching. It was a booklet that emanated a 10,000-year-old cold energy. Within the misty cold energy, there seemed to be a dragon-shaped creature coiling about, letting out roars. It was ferocious and barbaric, spitting out icy mist that no one dared to look at for too long. It was as if he would be frozen if he took another look at it. True Energy Secret Manual? Xiao Han's heart was filled with excitement. When he focused his gaze, he could vaguely see a few words appearing on the cover of the booklet. At this moment, the white-clothed man coughed a few times and spoke with a weak voice. Fellow outer court participants, the prize for the champion this time is an ancient medicine, Transcendence Saint Pill. This medicine was a sacred medicine for breaking through to the supreme true Qi realm. Peak blood transformation fleshly body. If a martial artist half a step into true Qi uses it, they will have a 10% chance of stepping into the true Qi realm. 10%. He had gained 10% more confidence for nothing. This 10% chance might seem insignificant, but martial artists who were half a step into true Qi knew how precious this 10% chance was. Sometimes, when breaking through to the true Qi realm, they only lacked that 1% or even 5% to have a sliver of chance. Separated by a sliver, forever separated by heaven and man. Now, not only were the outer court disciples blushing, even the inner court martial artists who were half a step into true Qi felt their throats go dry, their eyes glowing green. They wished they could directly replace the outer court disciples and participate in the competition. But this was impossible. Shui Jianfeng's entire body erupted with a blazing light, the thirst in his eyes as deep as the ocean. 10%. I'm actually only 10% away from the true Qi realm. With this Transcendence Saint Pill, I will reach the heavens in one step, transcending mortality and entering sainthood. My life level will increase. What outer court disciples, inner court disciples in front of me, they will be like ants. I must get it. No one can compete with me for it. Whoever dares to dream about it, I will directly explode with my sword and turn them into dregs. Shui Jianfeng's emotions were also somewhat deranged. Cough cough. In comparison, the second reward is not inferior. Cough cough. That is a true Qi secret manual that I found in the ruins of an ancient country in the extremely cold northern region. Hornless Dragon Profound Ice True Qi. Once cultivated, the true Qi in the body will transform into cold Qi, freezing mountains and rivers. One can also transform the true Qi into a hornless dragon, spitting out ice souls and blowing out cold Qi, freezing the enemy into ice dregs. Cough cough. The hornless dragon will circle around a small country, and that small country will be completely destroyed, turning into a lump of ice. Cough cough. Although the white-robed man had a sickly face and spoke weakly, his weak voice was like clear spring water, seeping into the depths of the person's soul, causing everyone present to clearly hear his words without missing a single word. What powerful true Qi. With just a little bit of it, it can destroy a small country. The value of this hornless dragon profound ice true Qi is even greater than that Transcendence Saint Pill. If I cultivate this true Qi, whoever dares to provoke me will be directly shattered into ice dregs with a wave of cold Qi. In my opinion, the Transcendence Saint Pill is more precious. Without reaching the true Qi realm, you will not be able to cultivate the hornless dragon profound ice true Qi. You must first reach the true Qi realm. This is the foundation. What's there to compare? Both are saint treasures, and once you become the champion you can collect both. Many people couldn't help but start discussing. It was in full swing. This time's outer sect ranking competition, the prize was too precious, unique and unparalleled, comparable to the inner sect disciple ranking competition of the past years. Tiskei, the hornless dragon might be stronger than my spirit turtle? At least in terms of offense, the hornless dragon profound ice true Qi will definitely surpass the spirit turtle true Qi. Xiao Han was also moved. Cough cough. The competition begins? The white-robed man kept coughing. The inner sect elder announced the official start of the competition. In an instant, rays of divine light surged, completely enveloping the lotus platform. It was a spectacular sight. This was to prevent people outside the stage from interfering with the competition. This layer of divine light screen isolated external objects. It allowed the contestants to fight in peace. Next, a few inner sect elders began to look at the number plates of the outer sect disciples. Announcing the match. One by one, the outer sect disciples rushed onto the stage and started fighting. Xiaohan Huanghu. Get on the stage. Xiaohan heard an inner sect elder announce that it was his turn to fight. Immediately, Xiaohan jumped onto one of the stages at the bottom of the lotus platform. Xiaohan stood motionless on the stage. His opponent was a young, sturdy man at the peak of the blood transformation realm, half a step into true Qi. He held an iron rod in his hand, and the surging strength qi transformed into a fierce tiger, choosing its opponent to devour. Xiaohan, although you have been in the limelight recently, you will lose when you meet me. You probably don't know, but in the last Outer Sect Disciple ranking competition, I Huang Hu was ranked 6th. I have to say your luck is terrible. You actually met me Huang Hu in the first round. You should admit defeat now. If you fight, you might have to break your arms and legs. I Huang Hu don't make a move, but once I do, I will definitely hurt you. You better think thrice. The sturdy man laughed sinisterly. You talk too much nonsense, get down. Xiaohan waved his right hand lightly, and the peerless blade light flashed violently. Pooh! Huang Hu did not even have time to react, and his chest was cut open, dripping with blood. It was at least a foot long and the bone could be seen. He flew backwards, vomiting blood continuously. Instant kill. It was like swatting a fly. Now that Xiaohan had reached the true qi realm, even if he sealed his true qi and did not use any true qi, his thinking speed was already much faster than a physical body realm martial artist. After a few days of rest and relaxation, he had faintly comprehended through a comprehensive study. His hand blade could now slash out 320 times in a breath, infinitely close to the speed of sound. The power of the blade qi was violent, killing people and ghosts. With just a slight slash, he could tear a wild beast apart. Furthermore, the strength of his flesh shell had reached 350 cauldrons. Among the physical body realm martial artists, at least in the Beacon Fire Empire, there were few who could match him. After sending his opponent flying, Xiaohan casually jumped off the stage. The Outer Sect disciples on Xiaohan's peak cheered thunderously. The three heads exchanged looks, their eyes filled with shock and incomparable gratification. Direct disciple seating area. Oh, the Xiaohan is a dark horse that suddenly emerged. He hid his strength and bided his time. At the crucial moment, he defeated his opponent in one move. The opponent he defeated was ranked 6th in the previous tournament, and he actually killed him in one move. Interesting. A green-robed man circulated his true qi, forming a nebula whirlpool above his head, and evaluated. This kid is not a match for Xue Jianfeng. Some time ago, I personally brought Xue Jianfeng to the Western Region Desert to hunt the demon race. Xue Jianfeng single-handedly killed dozens of loose demons and a total of 7 demon soldiers. His sword intent has already reached the small success stage and is nearing the middle stage. Killing those of the same realm is as easy as drinking water and eating. He is invincible in the physical body realm. Young Master Ziyu said proudly. Immediately after, he took a deep look at Xiaohan, and the depths of his eyes were filled with disgust. That white-robed man coughed while looking at Xiaohan. His sharp eyes that were like that of an ancient ferocious bird revealed an expression of contemplation. Senior brother, what do you say? You also know what it means to have a sword intent nearing the middle stage. Young Master Ziyu respectfully asked the white-robed man. Ziyu? The white-robed man coughed, and the contemplation in his eyes became more and more intense. This time's Outer Sect ranking competition might be really interesting. Don't say anything first, let me take a closer look. After speaking, he stared at Xiaohan without blinking. For Xiaohan, the following matches were almost completely ignored by the process. Once on the stage, the opponent would either automatically admit defeat or be knocked off the stage by Xiaohan in one move. Ah Cho did not let him down, and his luck was very good. He won 2 rounds. In the 3rd round, he encountered a great expert who was ranked 3rd in the previous tournament, and Ah Cho tactfully admitted defeat. Xue Jianfeng's battle situation was almost the same as Xiaohan's. Outer Sect disciples who faced Xue Jianfeng, 90% of them immediately admitted defeat and quit, cursing their bad luck. When Xue Jianfeng fought against the previous tournament's 2nd-ranked opponent, his hands were behind his back, his expression was as calm as water, and he did not even draw his sword. In the air, a strand of sword qi slashed out, destroying nothingness, and left a sword scar on his opponent's chest, unfathomable. Xue Jianfeng. I didn't think that your sword intent had reached such a level. You are more than several times stronger than last year. I wholeheartedly accept my loss. The previous tournament's 2nd-ranked expert covered the sword wound on his chest and retreated from the stage. One sword instantly defeated the previous tournament's 2nd-ranked existence. His methods were practically invincible. The matches proceeded without any surprises. Those who should have won, and those who shouldn't have won did not cause any surprises. Moreover, Xiaohan and Xue Jianfeng's unparalleled sharpness had already covered up the other participants. causing the other participants to be incomparably dim and mediocre. The first battle of the top four. Shui Jianfeng against Xiao Han. The inner sect elder announced with a trembling voice. Xiao Han and Shui Jianfeng actually encountered each other in the top four battle. This was simply the finals that were staged in advance. The entire arena instantly quietened down. Even a pin drop could be heard, like a cicada in winter. One was the champion of the previous tournament's outer sect ranking competition. His sword intent was unparalleled and he soared through the clouds. A single sword from the west subdued the world, and he was favored and nurtured by numerous true Qi realm experts. The other was a rising star that had emerged this year. He was a living target, and after a fortuitous encounter, he rose like a comet, overflowing with tyranny and single-handedly destroyed a peak. Even the direct disciple seats had quietened down. Xiao Han and Shui Jianfeng jumped onto the stage. The two of them faced each other from afar. Their gazes clashed in the air, and the atmosphere was filled with gunpowder. Xiao Han, I didn't expect you to reach this step. Shui Jianfeng looked at Xiao Han with a condescending gaze and said coldly. However, this is the end of it. Your life has also come to an end. This person is extremely foolish and has no subtlety. Just a little fortuitous encounter and you come out to clamor, jumping around. You are a despicable person intoxicated by success, and you will die without a doubt. If you knew how to endure, you might have lived a little longer, but forget it, geniuses will always be geniuses and trash will always be trash. Today this seat will let you experience the breathtaking power of a genius. King? The long sword on Shui Jianfeng's back, as if it had a life of its own, jumped out, and was held in Shui Jianfeng's hand. The blade was like autumn water and a divine light surged, shining brightly. This unparalleled divine light contrasted with Shui Jianfeng's handsome face and his arrogant face, bringing out the best in each other. Begin. Shui Jianfeng's killing intent sword. Since you can make me draw my sword, you will die a worthy death. Begin? Xiao Han was stunned and immediately laughed out loud. Begin? There's no need to begin. It's over. Completely over. Everyone was stunned and did not understand what Xiao Han was saying. What ended? Could it be that he wanted to admit defeat? At this moment, boom. Rays of dazzling divine light burst out from Xiao Han's body, and a berserk true energy surged, causing Xiao Han's body to float in the air. Xiao Han's entire body was bathed in the divine light, and his aura was like that of a deity. His hair moved without any wind, and his clothes billowed like waves. He looked down at Shui Jianfeng in the air as if he was looking at an ant. The seals of the 9 true treasures were undone at the same time. You're right. A genius will always be a genius and trash will always be trash. Shui Jianfeng, in front of me you're just a dog. Oh no, dog shit. Xiao Han laughed sinisterly. In his heart he chanted, Xiao Han, in the past you were a live target and you were smashed to pieces by this guy's fist. Now I will avenge you. Do you see that? Everyone in the audience stood up. Their throats were choked up and they gurgled. Even their breathing stopped. In the seats of true disciples. What's this? What's going on? What's going on? Young Master Ziyu's face was pale. It's the true Qi realm. Heavens, Xiao Han is at the true Qi realm. Unbelievable. Let me take a closer look. I can't make a mistake. A true Qi realm not even 20 years old. Cough cough, this is a shocking matter. Immediately report it. Quickly. The white-robed man coughed as he spoke to a true Qi realm disciple. You immediately report this matter to the sect master. Go now. Go now. Our sect has produced another peerless beauty. It's time for revenge. Does everyone enjoy watching this? Today's monthly tickets are few and far between, and I've been blown to the ground. I'm crying for monthly tickets to be comforted. Thank you. Mars. Chapter 89. The scene was shocking. A true Qi realm cultivator actually managed to sneak into the outer sect ranking tournament. An outer sect disciple who had reached the true Qi realm sealed his true Qi and concealed it from all the true disciples. Then he displayed his prowess and amazed the world with a single feat. This was something that had never happened before in the history of the Pure Cloud sect. According to historical records, there had only been 1 or 2 instances in the history of the Pure Cloud sect. During the inner sect ranking tournament between disciples who were half a step into the true Qi realm, there had been a person who had reached the heavens in a single step. Amidst the intense battle, there had been an epiphany and advanced to the true Qi realm. It was a feat that was worthy of being recorded in the annals of history. However, it was unprecedented for something like this to happen in the outer sect ranking tournament. Shui Jianfeng's face turned pale in an instant. The innate arrogance and condescension on his face froze like a clumsy mask. His entire body was trembling because of fear, because of dignity, because of unwillingness, because of jealousy. Jejij. Shui Jianfeng was like a little chick that had its throat pinched. He let out jejij sounds but was unable to speak. What? Why is it like this? Why is it that I, Shui Jianfeng, am a genius who advances at a tremendous pace in the martial Tao, am unable to break through the shackles of my body and reach the true Qi realm? And a living target, an extremely lowly person, actually reached the true Qi realm in a single step? Back then, I was able to shatter this living target with just a single punch from me. I was able to trample on his head and trample on him. But a few years later, my position has actually been reversed. He has reached the true Qi realm while I am just a mortal. How did this happen? Astonishingly. Why? I, Shui Jianfeng, refuse to accept this. I refuse to accept this. Shui Jianfeng finally roared. His voice was extremely bitter and desolate. As for Xiao Han floated in the air, surrounded by strands of divine light and auspicious clouds. He looked like a deity. And every strand of light was as heavy as a mountain. It was genuine true Qi. A few strands of true Qi floated above Shui Jianfeng's head. In an instant, crack, all of Shui Jianfeng's bones suffered a mountain-like pressure. His knees went soft and he was about to kneel down. No! Shui Jianfeng roared. Sword Qi surged all over his body, and his muscles, bones, skin, flesh, and blood vessels all sprang up as he forcibly held on. Ha, kneel down. Xiao Han pointed his right index finger at the air. Pa. Shui Jianfeng was instantly unable to bear the heavy burden, and he forcefully knelt down with a thump. Sure enough, all are ants beneath true energy. I now deeply understand this principle. The spirit turtle's true Qi in each true acupoint of mine is roughly equivalent to 1,000 cauldrons of strength. 9 true acupoints can store 9,000 cauldrons of strength. And how much power could a physical body realm martial artist have? Shui Jianfeng's fleshly body strength is about the same as mine, which is around 300 to 400 ding. Under the suppression of a force of 9,000 cauldrons, a force of a few hundred cauldrons was simply too weak and insignificant. It exploded in an instant. Xiao Han indifferently said as he looked down at Shui Jianfeng, who was kneeling on the ground, with a transcendent mental state that surpassed any physical body realm martial artist. Alright, it's all over. The next moment, shio, endless rays of light and divine radiance began to merge, gradually revealing the embryonic form of the spirit turtle, in the seats of the direct disciples. Xiao Han's true energy is simple and unadorned, with traces of time. It seems like the true energy left behind by the ancient people has been obtained by him. The white-robed man nodded continuously and coughed lightly. His eyes were filled with joy. Our Pure Rain sect has produced another true Qi realm martial artist. This is a joyous occasion. The sect master would definitely be very happy. How long has it been since a new true Qi realm martial artist has appeared? But young Master Ziyu's face was filled with sweat. Senior brother, please stop the massacre. I have spent a large amount of effort and resources to nurture this Shui Jianfeng. Furthermore, in a year and a half, he will be able to break through the barrier and step into the true Qi realm. At that time he will also be a talent. Senior brother, you cannot let him die in the hands of Xiao Han. Xiao Han was just lucky. Senior brother, you have seen it for yourself. Xiao Han's true energy was not cultivated by himself. Instead it was imparted to him. Ziyu, you must remember, luck will always belong to the truly strong. Even if the weak are blessed with luck, they will not be able to enjoy it. Don't say any more. Between Xiao Han and Shui Jianfeng, there must be an irreconcilable feud between them. We cannot break the rules of the competition just because of a half-step true Qi. Half-step true Qi and true Qi realm, which is more important, I believe everyone is very clear in their hearts. The white-robed man said indifferently. If Xiao Han wants to kill Shui Jianfeng, then let him. Because Xiao Han is in the true Qi realm and Shui Jianfeng is not. It is only possible that Shui Jianfeng will step into the true Qi realm in the future, but it is not absolute. The direct disciples present all nodded their heads. At this moment, on the stage, an enormous bronze-colored tortoise had already taken form and landed on the stage. It was as majestic as a mountain, its enormous body occupied half of the stage. It raised its head and swung its tail, stomping on the ground as it approached Shui Jianfeng. Dong, 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 the tortoise's feet stomped on the stage, emitting a thunderous sound. The entire stage shook and cracks appeared. No, no, no. Shui Jianfeng kept on retreating, his eyes finally revealing an expression of fear and despair. Don't kill me. Xiaohan. Don't kill me. The past between us will be written off once and for all. Please let me go. I cannot die. I have already touched the doorstep of the true Qi realm. Even if I die, I will not be able to rest in peace. Xiaohan, please don't kill me. Shui Jianfeng finally began to plead. The past between us will be written off once and for all? It seems that you still do not understand the situation. Xiaohan sneered. Dong, 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 the tortoise forced Shui Jianfeng to the edge of the stage, its huge shadow covering his body. I admit defeat. I admit defeat. At the same time, enough. Young Master Ziyu made a grabbing motion with his right hand. His 5 fingers were like fire dragons. Endless rays of light and divine rainbows surged. 5 fire dragons as thick as water buckets were filled with awe-inspiring divine might. There was nothing they couldn't burn as they shot out explosively towards the divine light screen outside the arena. Presumptuous. A trace of anger flashed past the eyes of the white-robed man as he waved his right hand casually. PFFF. A black feather flashed past and cut the 5 fire dragons in half. Endless sparks and lava splashed all over the ground. In the next moment, the white-robed man's eyes were like a primordial ferocious bird. The sickness on his body disappeared without a trace, and his aura surged violently. His body seemed to grow infinitely, and a giant black bird flashed past his eyes. Ziyu, you are too presumptuous. You actually interfered in the match. More than 10 direct disciples were shocked at the same time and retreated as they spoke. Senior brother, please calm down. Senior brother, please calm down. Young Master Ziyu's eyes were also filled with horror. His body turned cold as he lowered his head deeply. Senior brother, please calm down. Ziyu has lost his composure. On the stage, no. Shui Jianfeng let out a miserable howl. His upper body was already in the mouth of the tortoise and it was lightly bitten, crack. He was bitten into 2. Blood spurted wildly and he couldn't be more dead. I finally got my revenge. Awesome. Xiaohan nodded slightly. Immediately after, the tortoise disintegrated into rays of light and divine rainbows, merging into Xiaohan's 9 true acupoints. Xiaohan jumped down from midair, tidied his robe and walked down the stage. At this time Xiaohan no longer deliberately sealed his true acupoints. Rays of divine light floated on the surface of his body, and he was as dazzling as the stars. On the seat of Xiaohan's peak. No. It can't be? True Qi realm? Xiaohan. Xiaohan is actually in the true Qi realm. This can't be wrong, right? One of the managers rubbed his eyes. Another manager stuttered and asked Ah Cho who was beside him. Ah Cho, how did Xiaohan reach the true Qi realm in a single step? You should know about this, right? You are on good terms with Xiaohan. Perhaps you know his secret. Good, Xiaohan hid it from us for so long. 3 managers. This disciple also didn't know about this. Ah Cho's face was filled with surprise and joy. That's right. Senior brother Fang might have trained Xiaohan. Senior brother Fang? The 3 managers were stunned. Oh, it's our pure cloud sect senior brother Fang. He uses a sword and his entire body sword qi bloomed like a lotus, Ah Cho added. Evil hero Fang Ling, one of the 4 evil heroes of our pure cloud sect. He is known as the strongest sword cultivator in the history of pure cloud sect. The 3 managers looked at each other. To us, this kind of person is almost a legend. I didn't expect him to admire Xiaohan. What a great fortune. What a great fortune. Xiaohan's rise is unstoppable. Another true inheritance. Haha, I didn't expect it to come from our peak. Glory. This is the greatest glory of our peak. It will be recorded in the history books. There was no need to compete in the following finals. Xiaohan's life force surpassed all the outer sect disciples and inner sect disciples. He became the champion of the outer sect ranking competition, which was what everyone expected. The prizes were given out. The top 10 of this competition all received all kinds of precious medicines, precious weapons and martial skills and secret manuals floating in the air. Finally, only the Transcendent Saint Pill and the Hornless Dragon Profound Ice True Qi were left in the air. 2 supreme treasures. Cough cough. The white-robed man stood up and waved his hand at Xiaohan. Xiaohan, right? Come here. Oh. Xiao Han paused for a moment before slowly walking over. The demon egg in his heart and the tattoo of the demon emperor's palm on his left arm were deeply hidden like dust, unnoticeable. Senior brother, Ziyu isn't feeling well. I'll take my leave first. Young Master Ziyu gave Xiao Han a deep look before turning into a ray of light and disappeared in an instant. Xiao Han walked in front of the white-robed man. With a little observation, he saw that the white-robed man's body was shining with a total of 55 pointed stars. The stars were floating and the true chi was dense. Oh, this is a big shot. He opened a total of 50 true meridians and is at the peak of the 5th level of true chi. If he opens another true meridian, he will step into the 6th level of true chi. Even senior brother Fang has only opened 48 true meridians. His cultivation level is even higher than senior brother Fang's. Xiao Han silently thought. Not bad at all. Very impressive. The white-robed man looked at Xiao Han amiably. A friendly smile flashed across his ferocious bird-like eyes, but he had already seen Xiao Han's state of vitality. Xiao Han, you just stepped into the true chi realm, right? Did you open 9 true meridians in one go? The group of true disciples looked at Xiao Han curiously. Yes, everyone. Senior brothers, I just entered the true chi realm and opened 9 meridians. I also had a fortuitous encounter and obtained spirit turtle true chi from an ancient person's cave. Xiao Han admitted. What? Just entered the true chi realm and opened 9 meridians in a row? How enchanting. Comparisons are odious. When I first entered the true chi realm, I only opened 4 true meridians, not even half of junior brother Xiao Han's. I reached the true chi realm at the age of 21. Junior brother Xiao Han should be around 16 or 17 years old. My talent and willpower cannot compare to junior brother Xiao Han. Now, these true disciples all addressed Xiao Han as junior brother. It was as if they were of the same generation. But it made sense. Xiao Han was also at the true chi realm now, so becoming a true disciple was a certainty. Junior brother Xiao Han, your aptitude is very good. To be able to open 9 true meridians in one go is extremely rare in the entire Beacon Fire Empire. You might even become a hero in the future. The white-robed man's eyes were filled with admiration and admiration. Junior brother Xiao Han, I am Dongfang Qin, the second senior brother of this generation's true disciples of the Pure Cloud sect. You can call me Senior Dongfang. This true chi that you obtained is truly a unique path. It can conceal your presence so well that even I was fooled by you. Amazing. Second senior brother? Xiao Han was startled and blurted out. What about senior brother Fang Ling? Oh? Junior brother Xiao Han, you know junior brother Fang? He is this generation's true disciple of the Pure Cloud sect and is ranked 3rd. Dongfang Qin said with a pleasant expression. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, go and see the sect master now. If he knows that our Pure Cloud sect has such a talented youth like you, he will definitely be overjoyed. Dongfang Qin smiled and waved his right hand. The Transcendent Saint Pill and Hornless Dragon Profound Ice True Chi had already fallen into his hands. Junior brother Xiao Han, this is your reward. Dongfang Qin smiled. Many thanks, senior brother Dongfang. Xiao Han received the pill and True Chi manual with both hands. He licked his lips and immediately stored the 2 treasures into his true meridians. Now that Xiao Han had opened his true meridians, the storage ring was useless. All the items could be stored in the true meridians and soaked in true chi. Let's go and see the sect master now. Junior brother Xiao Han, you will soon have your own mountain peak and cave residence. Your status will soar and you will become a core true disciple of the Pure Cloud sect. You will truly ascend to the heavens in a single bound. See the sect master? See the current sect master of the Pure Cloud sect? Oh my god. That is a legendary super expert. I, Xiao Han, am actually able to see him? Xiao Han only felt that everything was like a lifetime ago. The once living target, a lowly person, had finally soared to the heavens. I finally have the chance to explore this mysterious and endless world and the unknown future. Chapter 90. Xiao Han followed Dongfang Qin and a dozen true disciples of the Pure Maiden sect to the Pure Maiden Hall. The current Pure Maiden sect master. Unspecified currency. Unspecified currency. Unspecified currency. Xiao Han had just entered the true chi realm, so he didn't know any superb skills such as shrinking the ground into an inch and true chi flying escape. Dongfang Qin accompanied Xiao Han with a smile and stood on the vast turtle shell, talking and laughing with Xiao Han. They flew away from the inner sect mountains. Not long after, Xiaohan saw a mountain in front of him soar into the sky like a sharp sword, piercing into the clouds. Auspicious clouds surrounded it, countless cranes and rocks were flying, and thousands of waterfalls were hanging down like jade dragons. Heavenly music was playing. Countless magnificent palaces were built on the mountain, flowers were blooming, there were green vines wrapped around old trees and birds were singing. The mountain was even more tranquil. This mountain peak was isolated from the bitter cold of winter, giving off a feeling of spring all year round. At the top of the mountain, a city in the sky was lifted up by an inexplicable magical power, floating in the depths of the white clouds. Junior brother Xiaohan, this is the pure maiden hall that will never fall. Dong Fangqin's eyes flashed with respect. Let's go see the sect master. He will be very pleased to see you as a young hero. The spirit turtle disintegrated, and rays of divine light flowed into Xiaohan's true meridian. The two fell to the foot of the mountain. A long stone staircase wound up. Junior brother Xiaohan, retract your true qi and walk up the stairs to show respect. Dong Fangqin said seriously. I understand, Xiaohan nodded. The two walked side by side and walked up the stairs. When they were halfway up the mountain, Xiaohan looked back. The mountain seemed to be under his feet and he felt a sense of pride. An hour later, the pure maiden hall in the depths of the white clouds. In a quiet garden, Xiaohan saw the current pure maiden sect master. Xiaohan was stunned. In the garden there was a young man in a green shirt, about 23 or 24 years old. There was no true qi fluctuation in his body. He was holding a nut in his hand and several young cranes were around him, using their beaks to wipe his clothes intimately, as if they were acting spoiled and fighting for the nut. A few canaries flew over from the treetops and stopped on his shoulders, chirping happily. He gave off a feeling of cleverness, standing aloof from worldly affairs. He did not look like a cultivator, nor did he look like the sect master of one of the top 5 sects in the Beacon Fire Empire, the Pure Cloud sect. Moreover, when Xiaohan looked at him, he felt as if he was standing right in front of him, but he was so far away. It was very surreal. Like flowers in the mirror or the moon in the water. Sect master, I have brought junior brother Xiaohan here. Dong Fangqin said respectfully with a look of deep admiration in his eyes. With that said, Dong Fangqin nudged Xiaohan, who was dumbfounded, with his elbow. Oh, greetings, sect master. Disciple Xiaohan pays his respects. Xiaohan hurriedly said. But in his heart he was thinking, Sovereign looks so young, even younger than martial brother Dongfang by 1 or 2 years. Xiaohan, you don't have to be so polite. I already know what happened to you. You're not bad. In such a short period of time, you've advanced from a live target to the true Qi realm and shone brilliantly in the outer sanctum ranking competition. The sect master waved his hand slightly and the young crane and golden sparrow flew away. He turned around and looked at Xiaohan. He was young and handsome and he had a special temperament. It was an extremely moving temperament, as if the elegance and grandeur of heaven and earth were gathered on his body at the same time. Like the clear moonlight under the tranquil flowing water. Or like a jade tree made of snow. So calm. So natural. There was no fluctuation of true qi in his body. Xiaohan secretly observed his life force, but he saw a shadow as deep as the sea. Unfathomable. What attracted people the most was his eyes. In his left eye, there were white clouds floating, and in his right eye, there was a drizzle lingering and warm. The sect master is too strong. Furthermore, I'm only a few meters away from him, but I can't lock onto his position. There's a feeling of distant mountains and nearby rivers, and the ends of the earth. So strong? He's even stronger than senior brother Fang and senior brother Dongfang. He's so much stronger. Could it be that he's also a demon hero? I think so. Xiaohan's mind was filled with thoughts. At this time, Xiaohan suddenly felt that the vitality of his whole body, his hair, skin, muscles, bones, internal organs, and true acupoints were all seen by the sect master, and there was no place to hide. The demon egg in his heart and the demon emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm sent out extremely vigilant and dangerous signals. He didn't dare to move and shrank into a dead object. Cold sweat suddenly appeared on Xiaohan's forehead. He was afraid that his biggest secret would be seen through by the sect master. If that was the case, he would most likely be sentenced to death. The sect master nodded thoughtfully, retracted his gaze and said with a faint smile. Every inch of his flesh and blood is brimming with vitality. A very good young man. You've obtained a great fortuitous encounter. Your true acupoints are filled with ancient true qi. Phew, I wasn't discovered. Xiaohan breathed a sigh of relief. He hurriedly said. Sect master is overpraising me. This disciple just has a bit of luck. No need to be modest. To have such achievements at such a young age, your future is limitless. The sect master laughed. Xiaohan, you've become a true disciple of the Pure Rain sect. Congratulations, junior brother Xiaohan. Dong Fangqin said happily. All right, Xiaohan, accompany me for a while. The sect master's temperament was not fierce, nor did he have any majesty. Instead, it gave people a feeling that it was very easy to get close to. Yes, sect master. Xiaohan bowed slightly. As a result, Xiaohan and the sect master walked side by side in the garden with flowing water, and Dong Fangqin followed behind. Xiaohan, you've just entered the True Qi realm. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I will answer them. The sect master laughed. Well, Xiaohan didn't expect the sect master to be so easy to talk to. Immediately he thought for a moment and blurted out. Sect master, when this disciple was in the flesh realm, he cultivated fist technique and blade Dao. Now that I've reached the True Qi realm, this disciple doesn't know how to use fist technique and blade Dao with True Qi. The martial skills and cultivation techniques learned in the flesh realm can't be integrated with True Qi for the time being. And, the sect master nodded slightly, this is very simple. After that, a book appeared in his hand and he handed it to Xiaohan. I just need to read more books. Xiaohan took the book with both hands. Martial Arts Flesh Realm and True Qi Realm Overview. It's not a martial arts book, but a book on the basic theories of martial arts. Xiaohan stored the book in his true acupoint. Thank you, sect master, for giving me the book. Xiaohan thanked him again and again. Sect master, this disciple had just opened his true acupoint and had a fortuitous encounter. I accidentally entered an ancient person's cave and received the spirit turtle True Qi. This disciple's true acupoint was filled with spirit turtle True Qi. What this disciple wants to ask is it possible for this disciple to cultivate a second True Qi? Theoretically, it's impossible. The sect master replied. Unless you disperse your spirit turtle True Qi and cultivate True Qi again. Otherwise, the foreign True Qi will clash in your true acupoint, causing your body to explode and die. However, there are no absolutes in this world. There are some human martial artists with special physiques and bloodlines that can cultivate multiple True Qi at the same time. There may be some secret cultivation techniques that can allow a person to cultivate multiple True Qi, but these cultivation techniques are all treasures that are not easy to obtain. If that's the case, this disciple understands. Hearing this, Xiaohan felt a sense of loss. In other words, unless he dispersed the spirit turtle True Qi, he could not cultivate other True Qi. Xiaohan found it hard to disperse his True Qi. Whether you disperse your True Qi or continue to cultivate this spirit turtle True Qi, Xiaohan, you decide for yourself. I will not interfere. The sect master squinted his eyes lazily and enjoyed the sunlight. Xiaohan, if you show enough talent and merit in the future, I will consider teaching you the sect's secret manual. Grade 8 True Qi, thank you, sect master. Xiaohan thought for a while and asked again. Sect master, what's the matter with the evil hero? This disciple once heard martial brother Fang say, below the immortals are the evil hero, below the evil hero are all living beings. The sect master took a deep look at Xiaohan and a look of approval flashed across his eyes. He sat leisurely in a hexagonal pavilion and said to Dong Fangqin. Dong Fangqin, you tell Xiaohan. Xiaohan looked at Dong Fangqin. Martial brother Xiaohan, since the beginning of chaos and the beginning of the world, there were two major races, the human race and the demon race. They were natural enemies and fought for countless years. The demon race was naturally stronger than the human race and regarded the human race as fish and prey. The human race rose up to resist. In the long war, the evil hero was born among the human race. The evil hero was selected from the human race's True Qi realm. As the evil hero, not only was his combat power outstanding, but he was also born not afraid of the demon race and even enjoyed killing the demon race. Without the evil hero, this world would have been annexed by the demon race. Countless heroes have used their lives to defend this land. Blood stained the land. They wrote a tragic and stirring legend. Therefore the evil hero had a supreme status. Holding the evil hero order, he could kill and turn the mountains and rivers into ashes. He was not bound by any empire, any sect, or any law. He could act first and report later. The evil hero can slaughter cities in the secular world without being punished? Xiaohan couldn't help blurting out. In theory, yes. Dong Fangqin nodded directly. This is the rule of the world. Martial brother Xiaohan, this world is very, very big, so big that you can't imagine it. As big as your heart is, the world is as big as yours. In addition to the north, south, east, west, center and 5 regions that you saw, in that endless mysterious area, there are ancient countries, savage tribes and countless secret realms. There are many places that ordinary people and ordinary martial artists don't have the right to enter, but the evil hero can. Therefore the evil hero can have resources that ordinary martial artists can't imagine, endless exploration and the right to pursue all kinds of unknown. Wow! In this world, there are many places that ordinary martial artists are not qualified to enter, only the evil hero can enter. Xiao Han immediately understood. He had a strong yearning for it. Martial brother Dongfang, how can I become an evil hero? Xiao Han asked. Every 5 years, there will be a grand evil hero selection. Dongfang Qin said seriously. The condition to participate in the selection is to reach the true Qi realm under the age of 30. And to have the combat power to challenge those of a higher rank. You also have to kill more than 10 demon generals with your own hands. Every evil hero selection includes the most outstanding young talents from each region, as well as the evil heroes from the mysterious ancient countries, savage tribes and ancient families. Dongfang Qin's eyes showed an expression of reminiscence, and his tone began to slow down. But the evil hero selection is too cruel. The death rate is extremely high. In the last evil hero selection, the death rate was more than 80%, and countless young talents who moved the mountains and rivers died. Mountains of corpses and seas of bones. Xiao Han, you currently don't have the foundation to participate in the evil hero selection. A smile appeared on the sect master's face that was as clear as ancient jade. Xiao Han, you are very brave. When you just entered the true Qi realm, you already have a yearning for the evil hero. Many true Qi realm martial artists are afraid of the evil hero selection for their entire lives. Alright, when you become famous in the mountains and rivers, this sect will let you participate in the evil hero selection. My Pure Cloud sect indeed needs the birth of a new evil hero. Yes, sect master. Xiao Han nodded and replied. Xiao Han, you can leave for now. In the future, when you travel in the martial world, the sect will protect you. The sect master stood up. My Pure Cloud sect does not have too many complicated sect rules. Other than not colluding with the demon race and not tarnishing the sect's reputation, the sect does not restrict anything else. Yes, this disciple is going to go into seclusion for a period of time to integrate various martial skills. Xiao Han said in a well-behaved manner. And the basic benefits of a true disciple will be sent to your mountain peak every few days. You can leave now. Cultivate well. The sect master smiled lightly. Immediately, Dongfang Qin brought Xiao Han and left the Pure Cloud Palace. The sect master sat back in the pavilion with a thoughtful look in his eyes. He then shook his head and laughed. This young man Xiao Han is somewhat interesting. In recent years, our sect's true Qi realm martial artists have been declining. It is time to produce a young talent. He has a very pure and kind temperament, but he seems to have obtained some secret treasure of the demon race. There is a faint aura of the demon god's hand, but it is very thin. Forget it, it is a blessing to use it properly, but it will be a disaster if it is not used properly. I hope he will not go astray and fall into the demon Dao. If he falls, I will have to personally execute him. I hope that such a day will not come. Chapter 91. Xiao Han was given an independent mountain peak. This was one of the benefits of a true disciple. Surrounding the periphery of the Pure Cloud Peak's Pure Cloud Hall were mountains filled with spiritual energy, which belonged to the direct disciples of the Pure Cloud sect. Including the mountain peak that Xiao Han had obtained, there were a total of 93 true inheritance mountains, indicating that the Pure Cloud sect currently had 93 true disciples. Xiao Han's mountain peak was extremely tranquil, unaffected by the weather of the outside world. It was like spring all year round. The mountain was shrouded in mist, and the green trees were entwined with green vines. The water was flowing and there were many immortal apes, immortal cranes, tigers, lions and unicorns. They walked around the mountain, unafraid of humans. It was truly a beautiful immortal route, the scenery magnificent. Halfway up the mountain, there was an elixir room, a canteen, a pen for raising spiritual beasts and a house for servants. The next day, 500 male servants and 500 female servants came to the mountain peak to pay their respects to Xiao Han. Awaiting orders. Growing flowers, sweeping the floor, cooking, concocting pills. Xiao Han was assigned to each task. On the peak of the mountain there were jade palaces and pavilions. In a large secret chamber used for cultivation. Xiao Han sat cross-legged on a praying mat. Wung wung wung, Wisps of divine light surrounded Xiaohan's body. Turtle breathing style. Xiaohan tried to seal the demon egg in his heart and the demon monarch's palm tattoo on his left arm with the tortoise breathing technique. I have to find a way to seal the aura of these two secret treasures that are related to the demon race. Otherwise they will be killed sooner or later. When Xiaohan faced the pure maiden sect master, he felt as though all his secrets were exposed. It was a terrifying feeling, as though he was naked in a world of ice and snow. Even if the sect master doesn't see through us, it's hard to guarantee that we'll meet a giant who's even stronger than the sect master in the future. At that time, if we make the slightest mistake, we'll die without a burial place. One had to know that the demon egg and the demon monarch's palm tattoo. It had already been refined by Xiaohan, becoming a part of his body. If it was seen by others, it could easily lead to the calamity of having one's hand cut off and one's heart dug out. 2 hours later, I've put in a lot of effort and tried to use the tortoise breathing style to seal the two great secrets, and I've found some clues. It seemed like the tortoise breathing technique should be able to seal the demon egg and the demon thearcha's palm tattoo, but my cultivation is still too low. The true chi of the spirit turtle was not vigorous enough, so he could not seal it up for now. Once I open a few more acupoints and reach level 2 of true chi, I'm afraid I'll be able to successfully seal it. Xiaohan's eyes flashed. If that's the case, I won't be able to cultivate other types of true chi. To hide the secret, could he not disperse the spirit turtle's true chi for the rest of his life and practice a more profound true chi cultivation method? Damn it! Xiaohan groaned. With a thought, the secret manual covered in frost appeared in Xiaohan's hand. Xiaohan flipped through a few pages and felt that it was even more powerful. However, he only looked at it and did not dare to cultivate it rashly. He was afraid that the different kinds of true chi would clash. His body exploded and he died. Forget it. For now, I'll use the Son of Heaven's divine fist, the 7-fragment saber technique, and the indestructible golden body. Fuse it with your true chi. Xiaohan had no choice but to put the manual aside and read it carefully. There was no time in the mountains. 3 months had passed. During these 3 months, Xiaohan had been studying in seclusion every day. In his spare time he would stroll in the mountains. The true disciples of the other peaks did not come to disturb Xiaohan. It was just that Dongfang Qin personally delivered the basic benefits of a true disciple. It was a top-grade treasure called the True Chi Spirit Stone, which was used to cultivate true chi. The True Chi realm absorbed the essence of true chi contained in the True Chi Spirit Stone, and transformed it into his own true chi. 5 True Chi Spirit Stones every month. Xiaohan also inquired about Fang Ling's situation from Dongfang Qin. It turned out that Fang Ling had recovered from his injuries a month ago and had already left the mountain. In the desolate valley, there were flowers and trees. The grass was long and the birds were flying. Xiaohan stood still. The next moment, boom! A powerful aura rushed out from Xiaohan's body. Endless light and colorful clouds rose from the top of Xiaohan's head and condensed into a shadow of the Son of Heaven in the void. The shadow of the Son of Heaven, the King of Heaven and Earth. Xiaohan's slightly closed eyes opened. They were as bright as the stars, showing off their sharpness. He punched out. King of the world. Pacifying the 4 seas. PFFF. This punch was like the birth of an ancient beast and the arrival of an emperor. It could topple the mountains and overturn the seas. It directly lifted a large area of dense forest in front of him. Countless ancient trees were broken and exploded, turning into ashes. The next moment, true chi surged like a river and condensed into a royal robe on the surface of Xiaohan's body. The stars shone, the sun and the moon and the world were all in it. The first style of the royal robe. Xiaohan's body seemed to be infinitely tall, looking down on the world. Immediately after, the air in front of Xiaohan was divided into 2. His whole body was mixed with the momentum of thousands of troops and horses galloping. In an instant he rolled out hundreds of feet, producing a wave of air that crackled and exploded. The first style of the Imperial Expedition. Oh! After a full 3 months of fusion, the first 3 styles of the Son of Heaven's divine fist can finally be used in the form of true chi. The first style of the King of the World can blast out more than 10,000 cauldrons of power. It gives me the illusion of moving mountains and filling the sea, picking the stars and moon. Xiaohan's movement became still. The next moment, the single saber jumped out from the true meridian and was held in Xiaohan's hand. With the saber in hand, an unstoppable peerless saber chi rushed out from Xiaohan's body like an evil dragon. Xiaohan's eyes flashed with a devastating saber light. Boom! With a slash, the true chi saber light crushed the air into pieces. With a speed that was twice as fast as the speed of sound, it slashed a giant boulder 100 steps away. Pooh! The giant boulder was cut into two, but the top half did not fall. A gust of wind blew past, chi. The top half of the boulder that was cut turned into powder and was blown away in the air. After slashing out the true chi saber light, the speed and strength of the saber will increase exponentially. In a breath, I can slash out 680 times, which is exactly twice as fast as the speed of sound. Furthermore, the strength of a single true chi saber light has the strength of thousands of cauldrons. This is too terrifying. Using true chi to control the saber Dao, the power is actually so terrifying. The destructive power is countless times stronger than when I was at the mortal body realm. Clang! The air above Xiao Han's head suddenly let out a peerless saber cry, like a dragon swimming in the sea or a tiger roaring in the forest. Without any warning, a wisp of saber intent appeared out of thin air. It was about 10 feet long and destroyed the void. The saber slashed into an old forest, chopping countless towering ancient trees in half. The cut was smooth and neat, like an exquisite carving. Yes, the saber intent is released in the form of essential chi, essence, chi and spirit. Saber intent, battle intent, and state of mind all merged together, resulting in the speed of a strand of saber intent. It's twice the speed of my saber, which is 4 times the speed of sound. If God blocks it, I'll kill God. If Buddha blocks it, I'll kill Buddha. I'll destroy everything. Xiao Han sheathed his saber, turned around and left leisurely. Rumble. Rumble. Boom. The trees in the old forest had been cut down by the saber intent. Only then did it begin to topple and collapse. Late at night. In the secret cultivation room. In the past 3 months, I've finally mastered my battle skills and origin chi. In the past, Senior Brother Fong had said it before. The Son of Heaven's divine fist and 7-fragment saber art that I'm cultivating won't fall behind. After I reach the Jinchi realm, I can continue using them. Sure enough. Now, if I slash out with my saber intent, I'm afraid an ordinary level 2 true chi cultivator will not be able to withstand it. I can kill them all. Saber intent and sword intent will always be terrifying killing weapons that can challenge those of higher levels. However, the indestructible golden body doesn't seem to be able to fuse with essential chi. Xiao Han sat cross-legged on the praying mat, calculating his gains and losses. The strange thing was, no matter how he tried to fuse them, the indestructible golden body and essential chi were incompatible, as if the indestructible golden body could only refine the physical body. Feeling the vigorous indestructible golden body's heat flow, Xiao Han tried to fuse a strand of spirit turtle essential chi with it, but he was violently rejected. Xiao Han felt helpless. It seems that the indestructible golden body can forget about having anything to do with essential chi. But whatever. From tomorrow onwards, I'll cultivate the martial arts like cocoons that appeared when I was at the peak of the blood transformation realm. Currently, 3 of the seals that suppressed the demon egg in Xiao Han's heart had been broken. They had traces of the indestructible golden body, the Son of Heaven's divine fist, and the 7-fragment saber art. As Xiao Han's cultivation level increased, he could constantly trigger and perfect these 3 supreme martial arts. Son of Heaven's divine fist, Dragon's Fury, 7-fragment saber art, second move, space shattering, indestructible golden body 31st to 40th move. It's late. Tomorrow I'll work hard and cultivate these martial arts. Xiao Han stood up. After leaving the secret cultivation room, Xiao Han returned to the side hall. He lay down on the fragrant and warm bed. Before going to sleep, Xiao Han took out the manual again and flipped through a few pages. In the past 3 months, Xiao Han could not help but flip through this manual every day. The more he read, the more he felt that this essential chi could freeze mountains and rivers. It was no small matter. If it were not for the fact that he had to preserve the spirit turtle essential chi and seal the demon egg and the demon emperor's palm tattoo in the future, Xiao Han would not have been able to hold himself back long ago. He would have dispersed his spirit turtle essential chi and cultivated the hornless dragon's profound ice true chi instead. After 3 months of reading, Xiao Han had already memorized the cultivation method, mantra and tricks of the hornless dragon's profound ice true chi by heart. He could even say that he could recite it backwards. Whatever, don't look at this manual anymore. At least for now I can't cultivate it. Xiao Han sighed and placed the manual into his true acupoint. Sleep. In the middle of the night, a terrifying thing happened to Xiao Han. Maybe it was because what he thought about during the day, or maybe it was because Xiao Han had already memorized every mantra of the hornless dragon's profound ice true chi. As a result, in his dreams Xiaohan actually subconsciously cultivated this essential qi according to the mantra. Moreover, it seemed that from the first day he started reading this Jinqi secret manual, Xiaohan would often dream that he was cultivating this Jinqi in his dreams without any scruples. At first he did not feel anything strange. But tonight, 3 months later, in one of Xiaohan's true acupoints, a strand of hornless dragon's profound ice true qi as thick as a pinky finger was produced. This was an almost negligible strand of hornless dragon's profound ice true qi. However, Xiaohan's 9 true acupoints were filled with the spirit turtle's essential qi. Even the slightest strand of an unrelated essential qi could cause his body to explode. This caused Xiaohan to wake up from his dreams in pain. The true acupoint that produced the strand of hornless dragon's profound ice true qi was completely disrupted. The dragon and the tiger fought against each other, surging with a feeling that it was about to explode. What? Xiaohan jumped up from the bed. 3 inches below his heart, his first true acupoint was trembling. It kept opening and closing, flashing. The pain of heartbreak engulfed Xiaohan. Oh no! Why is there a strand of icy cold qi in my true acupoint? Heavens! That is the hornless dragon's profound ice true qi. Xiaohan could only feel that it was inconceivable. But it was this strand of inexplicable strange true qi that had completely enveloped Xiaohan's body in danger of exploding. I need to get rid of this strand of true qi as soon as possible. Otherwise, a 1,000-mile dam will be destroyed by an ant's nest. Xiaohan looked within himself and saw a vicious hornless dragon in the icy mist-like strand of true qi in his first true acupoint. It was currently roaring, provoking the countless spirit turtles that swam around. Moreover, the 2 types of true qi were entangled together and could not be separated. Damn it! In an instant, Xiaohan's whole body felt like it was being bitten by thousands of ants. It was extremely painful. In the first true acupoint, there was a terrifying sound of surging tides. It was filled with true qi for a moment and then deflated in the next. It was extremely strange. Now, I can only disperse all the true qi in the first true acupoint. Otherwise, this true acupoint will be completely destroyed. My vitality will be greatly damaged and I will become a cripple. Xiaohan was about to collapse. But the key problem was that he did not know how to disperse the true qi. Because from the beginning he had never planned to disperse the spirit turtle true qi. Therefore he did not ask sect master and Dongfang Qin for advice on how to disperse his true qi. This time it was too big. However, at this moment Xiaohan's heart throbbed. Suddenly, crack. It was as if some shackles had suddenly broken like an eggshell cracking. Immediately after, endless divine rainbows and rays of light shot out from Xiaohan's heart. 9 light cocoons swarmed out and lingered around Xiaohan. The first light cocoon cracked. Xiaohan raised his eyes to take a look. 9 revolutions divine art, first turn can cultivate 2 types of true qi at the same time. P.S. The second chapter has been delivered. I will try to write the 3rd chapter before 12 o'clock tonight. Asking for monthly votes. Chapter 92. Just as Xiaohan's cultivation went astray, his acupoints were on the verge of shattering, and his body was on the verge of exploding, the seal suppressing the demon egg in his heart was inexplicably triggered, and another one shattered. The 4th seal was broken. This seal also recorded a martial art. 9 revolutions divine art, one of the 9 cocoons exploded, representing the first revolution of the 9 revolutions divine art. Xiaohan saw the cultivation manual and the incantation for the first revolution of the 9 revolutions divine art. Xiaohan practically didn't hesitate to sit down cross-legged and cultivate according to the diagram and incantation that exploded within the cocoon of light. After a few minor circulations, the raging of the first acupoint finally calmed down. The pain in Xiaohan's body, which felt like it was about to shatter into pieces, was gradually getting better. Hoo! Xiaohan heavily spat out a mouthful of impure air. His tightly knitted eyebrows finally relaxed. Damn it! My body almost exploded just now. It was really dangerous. The 9 revolutions divine art? At this time Xiaohan finally focused on studying the technique that saved his life. With one look, Xiaohan couldn't help but burst into wild laughter. Ha! Ah! What luck! Luck Dao! As it turned out, this 9 revolutions divine art allowed the cultivator to simultaneously cultivate multiple types of true qi. Even if it was a different kind of true qi, there was no need to worry about the danger of his body exploding. The essence of the word revolution, in the 9 revolutions divine art was to shift. To put it simply, the first cycle was to open the first batch of virtual acupoints. This was extremely miraculous. It allowed a true Qi realm martial artist to completely transfer their first Jinqi into a set of virtual acupoints, freeing up their acupoints to cultivate their second Jinqi. When the second gate of Jinqi was successfully cultivated, the Jinqi acupoints were filled. It could be exchanged with the first gate of true Qi at any time. Transfer. Conversion. Uncanny workmanship. Superb craftsmanship. In other words, if Xiao Han achieved the first cycle of the divine art of 9 revolutions right now, he would be able to transfer the spirit turtle's true Qi from his 9 true acupoints into the illusory true acupoints. As a result, his acupoints would be empty for cultivation. When facing an enemy, he could change his mind at will, making it impossible to guard against. Of course, converting true Qi could not superimpose true Qi. However, the amount of true Qi that Xiao Han could store would be twice as much as his peers. The only drawback was that cultivating this mystical art would definitely consume a large amount of resources. Ordinary true Qi stage martial artists were unable to cultivate this type of cultivation method, as they didn't have that many true Qi spirit stones to consume. But Xiao Han couldn't care less. He had cultivated many types of Zhen Qi at the same time, and his battle prowess had increased exponentially. He had endless trump cards and he could wear out his opponent to death. Let's start cultivating. Xiao Han didn't beat around the bush and immediately followed the diagram and incantation of the first cocoon. He focused on cultivating. For 3 days and 3 nights, Xiao Han trained hard without stopping. He sat motionless like a statue. Like an old monk in meditation, there was no one and no me. On the morning of the 4th day, the first ray of light shone through the window. Xiao Han opened his eyes. Meanwhile, Xiao, the 9 acupoints split at the same time. One split into 2. This allowed Xiao Han to form 18 true meridians. No. More accurately, every single acupoint. They were not real acupoints, but they were able to transfer and store true energy. The 9 virtual acupoints have been opened. I can transfer the spirit turtle true Qi to them. With a thought, the spirit turtle true Qi stored in the 9 true meridians was all transferred to the newly opened virtual acupoints. Not a single drop leaked out. As a result, Xiao Han's 9 true meridians were immediately empty. In other words, the first true meridian contained a pinky-sized hornless dragon profound ice true Qi. Ha! It's done. Now I can cultivate the hornless dragon profound ice true Qi without any worries. Xiao Han laughed to the point where he forgot himself. However, he didn't start cultivating immediately. After 3 days and 3 nights, his stomach was already rumbling with hunger. Xiao Han climbed up and walked to the canteen halfway up the mountain. He enjoyed a table full of medicinal cuisine, delicacies, and fine wine prepared by the chef. There were also 17 or 18-year-old beautiful maidservants waiting on him, enjoying the luxurious life. Xiao Han filled his stomach and immediately rushed back to the peak. In the secret cultivation room, Xiao Han flipped his right hand, and a precious ore filled with the purest true Qi appeared in his hand. This was a true Qi spirit stone. It was as white as jade, crystal clear and glistening. It was the size of a palm and weighed about 10 cauldrons. The true Qi within the true Qi spirit stone was the most primitive true Qi in the world. It did not possess any attribute. True Qi realm cultivators could absorb it and refine it into their own true Qi. Xiao Han sucked in a deep breath and placed the true Qi spirit stone into his first true meridian. Afterwards he began cultivating. Rays of frosty, cold, fog-like light encircled the true Qi spirit stone. Under Xiao Han's profound technique, the true Qi spirit stone was quickly broken down into pieces. For 7 whole days Xiao Han cultivated. The basic benefit of 3 months, the 15 true Qi spirit stones, had already been completely used up. Currently, around a sixth of Xiao Han's first true meridian had been filled, which was equivalent to 150 cauldrons of strength. It was still extremely immature. Xiao Han stood at the foot of the back mountain. Cold Qi surged around him and light flickered. Suddenly, a foot-long hornless dragon surged out from the first true meridian. Its entire body was like ivory and it had a soft luster. It was wrapped in a layer of cold Qi and it roared and roared fiercely. The cold Qi around it caused the air around it to freeze into ice crystals that fell down with rustling sounds. This is a hornless dragon formed from my true Qi. It can freeze mountains and shatter rivers. Kill. Xiao Han waved his right hand lightly. The foot-long hornless dragon turned into a ray of cold light and flashed past, passing through a mountain rock. Puchi. The mountain rock that was 1 zhang tall was frozen into a lump of ice. In the next moment, it exploded like porcelain and turned into powder. The tiny hornless dragon circled around and returned to Xiao Han's true meridian as if it had a mind of its own. Powerful, but it's too small. It might be able to kill a physical body realm cultivator, but if it were to encounter a true Qi realm cultivator, it would be completely useless. It's completely useless. Xiao Han licked his lips. Moreover, Xiao Han secretly calculated that to fill 1 true meridian with hornless dragon profound ice true Qi, he would need at least 90 to 100 true Qi spirit stones. If he were to fill the existing 9 true meridian, he would need around 900 true Qi spirit stones. Xiao Han's monthly basic benefit was nothing more than 5 true Qi spirit stones. It was a drop in the bucket. This did not include the true Qi spirit stones that Xiao Han needed to cultivate the spirit turtle true Qi. If I cultivate like this, the spirit stones won't be able to keep up. I have just reached the true Qi realm and am a true disciple of the Pure Rain sect. I have no foundation at all. I have to think of a way to get a lot of true Qi spirit stones. Xiao Han's eyes were filled with thoughts. At this moment, a black divine light flashed above the mountain peak, like an ancient ferocious bird flying past. Senior brother Dongfang is here. Xiao Han quickly transferred the hornless dragon profound ice true Qi that he had just cultivated to the virtual true meridian. He transferred the spirit turtle true Qi back and filled the 9 true meridian. With a thought, he was able to do it easily. Junior brother Xiao Han. Dongfang Qin's voice hovered above Xiao Han's mountain peak. Xiao Han quickly went up to greet him. Senior brother Dongfang, are you here to give me true Qi spirit stones? Xiao Han and Dongfang Qin were already familiar with each other. It was harmless to make a few jokes. However, Xiao Han knew. This senior brother Dongfang usually looked amiable, but once he was angered, it would not be fun. Dongfang Qin's eyes occasionally revealed the ancient ferocious bird's ruthlessness, which made people's hearts palpitate. Ah, junior brother Xiao Han. This month's true Qi spirit stones have already been allocated to you. Alright, the sect master has summoned you to the Pure Rain Palace. Let's go together. Dongfang Qin coughed a few times and then smiled. The two stood side by side on the spirit turtle's shell. Alright. Senior brother Dongfang, why did the sect master summon us? Xiao Han asked with a smile. Junior brother Xiao Han. You have been in seclusion for a few months. You still don't know what happened in the empire. Dongfang Qin's sickly face had a hint of seriousness. The North Profound Demon King was trapped in the Royal Hunting Mountain Range of the Beacon Fire Empire, the Setting Sun Mountain Range. The sects in the world heard the news and wanted to kill the North Profound Demon King. A few months ago, the North Profound Demon King was besieged by a demon hero squad and was seriously injured. He escaped from the Northern Territory to the Southern Territory. Before he could recuperate and recover his seriously injured demon body, his whereabouts were exposed and he was finally trapped to death. Oh, North Profound Demon King? Senior brother Dongfang, I know something about the North Profound Demon King. Previously, when I returned to his family with senior brother Acho from the outer sect, we encountered the injured North Profound Demon King wantonly killing and nibbling away at the people of the Blazing Fire City. Later, senior brother Fang rushed over. The North Profound Demon King was already an arrow at the end of its flight and was even hit by senior brother Fang's sword. However, a centipede will not die and he escaped. Xiao Han hurriedly said. Oh, junior brother Xiao Han, have you seen the North Profound Demon King? Junior brother Fang did not mention this matter. I saw that when you mentioned the name of the North Profound Demon King, there was not much fear in your eyes. It seems that junior brother Xiao Han is born with divine courage and is not afraid of the demon clan. That's good. Dongfang Qin praised. As they spoke, the two flew to the peak of paradise. At the foot of the Paradise Hall, they walked up the stairs like a gust of wind. Paradise Hall. In the garden. The Paradise sect master sat on a stone bench and flipped through a thread-bound book. He was languid, his body was flawless, and he looked like an immortal. There were no other true inheritances in the garden. Sect master, junior brother Xiao Han is here. Dongfang Qin brought Xiao Han into the garden. Sect master, Xiao Han called out obediently. The sect master glanced at Xiao Han indifferently and smiled. Xiao Han, your martial Dao has improved a lot. It seems that you have completely integrated some of the martial techniques that you cultivated in the physical body realm into your true Qi. You are very diligent. This is very good. After a pause, the sect master put down the thread-bound book in his hand and stood up. Xiao Han, this time I intend to let you make a trip to the Sunset Mountains as a trial. Xiaohan, you must know that stepping into the true Qi realm is just the beginning of the martial Dao. There is still a long way to go. There is no lack of life and death experiences. Oh? Sect Master, you want me to participate in the operation to kill the North Profound Demon King? Xiaohan immediately asked. Yes. The Sect Master nodded and said. This time's mission is a bit complicated. Xiaohan was stunned. The Sect Master smiled. This time, the North Profound Demon King is trapped in the Beacon Fire Empire's Royal Mountain Range, the Sunset Mountains. However, the Empire's royal family does not dare to take all the credit. Therefore, after discussing with the 5 major sects, we decided that the 5 major sects will send people to encircle and kill the North Profound Demon King together. In the end, we will see which force will kill the North Profound Demon King. This operation can be seen as a competition between the strongest forces in the Beacon Fire Empire. Moreover, there is another plan for this operation. Since the North Profound Demon King is trapped, his tribe will definitely come out in full force. At that time, we will kill them all. Sect Master, this is quite complicated. The 5 major sects and the Empire's forces mean that there are a total of 6 forces surrounding the North Profound Demon King. Moreover, we have to lure the snake out of its hole to deal with the North Profound Demon King's tribe. Xiaohan also felt a bit troubled. Dongfang Qin coughed and added on the side. Junior brother Xiaohan, there are many variables in this operation. The other empires may also want a piece of the pie. Maybe the evil heroes of other empires will also sneak into the Beacon Fire Empire to snatch the North Profound Demon King. The value of a Demon King is very huge. Killing it can at least be exchanged for a mountain of supreme-grade True Qi Spirit Stones. It is even possible to exchange for a peerless True Qi secret manual. And for the evil heroes, killing the North Profound Demon King can directly improve their ranking on the evil heroes list. This is no small matter. Ah? A mountain of supreme-grade True Qi Spirit Stones? Xiaohan swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Junior brother Xiaohan, the True Qi Spirit Stones distributed to you by the sect are just ordinary Spirit Stones. The quality is not very high. The real supreme-grade True Qi Spirit Stones are extremely expensive. A supreme-grade True Qi Spirit Stone can be exchanged for at least 100 ordinary True Qi Spirit Stones. And no one is willing to exchange supreme-grade True Qi Spirit Stones for ordinary Spirit Stones. Dongfang Qin laughed. Xiaohan, the sect master said. For this operation, the 5 major sects and the royal family of the Beacon Fire Empire will intentionally send some young geniuses to use the pressure of the Demon King to hone their will and spirit. Our Pure Cloud sect will also dispatch 50 half-step True Qi inner disciples who are very confident in breaking through to the True Qi realm. You should also go and temper yourself. Of course, our Pure Cloud sect will also send evil heroes to help and strive for the North Profound Demon King to compete with the other sections. The sect master looked at Dongfang Qin. Dongfang, for this operation, you will be in charge of the overall situation of our Pure Cloud sect. Fang Ling may also appear in the Sunset Mountains. Yes. Sect Master. Dongfang Qin's sickly face was burning with excitement. A black ferocious bird flashed in his eyes and his battle-intent soared. Sect Master, it has been a long time since I went down the mountain to participate in such a battle. Don't worry, Sect Master. The North Profound Demon King is in the bag. Violent confidence spread from his body, and his aura rose steadily. He was like a different person from usual. With me and junior brother Fang who can compete with us. Xiaohan was affected by Dongfang Qin's emotions, and his blood was boiling. Sect Master, don't worry. I Xiaohan will do my best. I will not tarnish the reputation of our Pure Cloud sect and let the other sects steal our limelight. Xiaohan, your True Qi is good at hiding your aura. It can even seal your true acupoints. The sect master said thoughtfully. I have already given a gag order about your advancement to the True Qi realm. Up until now, the other sects still do not know that our Pure Cloud sect has such a talented young man who has reached the True Qi realm in his teens. Sect Master, you mean to let me seal my true acupoints and disguise myself as a physical body realm martial artist to win at the crucial moment? Xiaohan was startled. Ha ha ha. The sect master laughed, which was rare for him. All these years, Mingjian Villa, Medicine King Valley, 8 Wind Palace, and Blazing Flame sect have all produced some youths who have reached the True Qi realm. I feel the pressure. However, Xiaohan, your sudden rise has greatly gratified my sect. Xiaohan, you should go. You won't be any weaker than those geniuses. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.